the tenant thinks that the Section 8 covers the entire amount. And so that's the issue I've heard about, at least when I've talked to landlords here.
The General Assembly now has a chance to override WHIR's veto, and it appears they would have the votes to do that if they choose to. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for health care can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
This is Randy Gipp Graham. If you want to start your weekend off in a winning way, propelling you into a new work week, then join with our team every Saturday morning at 7 o'clock on the Kentucky Power Hour. Sure, we talk current events, politics, a little sports, and a lot about leadership, but with you, the listener, in mind. So start your day off in a winning way. Right here on the Happy Station, WHIR.
The Kentucky Power Hour on AM 1230 and FM 103.9.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
It was brought to you by our friends over at Howard Carpenter Flooring Outlet in Harrodsburg. They specialize in discount, waterproof vinyl flooring, hardwood, tile, carpet remnants, and so much more. Shop and save on all types of floor coverings. Howard Carpenter Flooring Outlet, Harrodsburg, 540 North College Street. Partly sunny, high today 61. A low tonight, 48. Tomorrow, showers likely, cloudy, a high of 65. On Saturday, rain showers are likely and a high of 62. Sunday, sunny and 50 is your high. It's 6:38 in the morning. It's 45 degrees. Thursday, March the 7th. Larry Vott's got Vott's Views for us today. What's going on with you, Larry?
Vott's Views on University of Kentucky Sports is on the air. Featuring 7-time Kentucky Sports Writer of the Year, Larry Vaught.
I've been blessed to interview a lot of special athletes in the 49-plus years I've been doing what I do, but I don't recall ever talking to anyone quite like Paducah Tillman Jr. Jack James, who has a football scholarship offer for Kentucky. James threw for 4,019 yards and 56 touchdowns last year and also ran for 6 scores to help Tillman reach the Class 4A semifinals. But get this. The 4,000-yard passer also recently won the 215-pound state wrestling championship. In 2023, he actually finished third in the 175-pound division when he cut weight after football to wrestle. This year, he decided not to shed pounds to hurt his chances of playing football, yet still went out and won the state title, making him the first state champion I know who has passed for over 4,000 yards and won a wrestling title.
Vott's Views will return in a moment.
It's an exciting month at Commonwealth Agri-Energy as we celebrate 20 years of business. I'm Mick Henderson, General Manager, and as we look back on the past 2 decades, we want to recognize our fabulous team who make it happen 24/7 every single day. Our heartfelt appreciation also goes out to the dedicated corn farmers whose hard work enables us to create ethanol for fuel, nutritional animal feeds, CO2, and so much more. Here's to 2 decades of tremendous growth and many more to go. Visit CommonwealthAgriEnergy.com.
Jack James says he only wrestles about 3.5 months per year after football ends. However, he has been wrestling for 11 years because his father liked the mental and physical toughness the sport teaches. He's not sure if he will wrestle again next year or enroll early in college to get a head start on his collegiate football career. But he does know that he wants to help Paducah Tillman contend for a state football championship and believes his team has returning talent and experience to do that. After what he's already done, I believe it.
Find more from Larry at yoursportsedge.com.
There you go, Larry Vaught, Vott's Views, Mondays through Fridays, right here on The Joe Show at this time on Thursday, the 7th day of March, 03-0724. And big news, of course, coming from the Republican Party, where Nikki Haley, you heard, has suspended her presidential campaign. It leaves Donald Trump as the likely Republican candidate, barring something unforeseen or foreseen happening. And with him being the last Republican standing, this is actually spawning a brand new TV show. Check out the trailer for it.
Coming to TV, the stand-up comedy show you've been waiting for. Donald Trump stars in Last Republican Standing.
Hey, folks, I just flew in from beating Nikki Haley at the caucus, and boy, are my arms tired.
You'll love former President Trump's hilarious new material.
Did you hear the one about Nikki Haley winning the Republican nomination? Neither did I.
It's Last Republican Standing.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Not Nikki Haley. That I can tell you.
Don't miss it.
There you go. Let's see what's going on in this morning's world of absolute good. Are you tired of the gloom and doom that saturates your daily news? Well, of course you are, and I am right there with you. These stories remind us of the silver line in the cloud over all of our heads. My way of sharing the good news with you, and hopefully you'll go do the same for somebody else. Here's Floyd Kramer. Little good news action for you on this Thursday morning. And here we go. Story number one coming from Albuquerque, New Mexico, where 84-year-old Albuquerque resident Jack Cutchall had his mobility scooter stolen. And the community came together to offer support, lifting his spirits and renewing his faith in humanity. An anonymous donor provided him with a nearly new motor chair, restoring his mobility and greatly improving his quality of life. With his new scooter, Cutchall is back on the move, has resumed outings with his companion Jane, and has expressed heartfelt gratitude towards the community. Here's a clip of Jack Cutchall saying this act of kindness renewed his faith in human nature.
I was very pleasantly surprised. It kind of renewed my faith in human nature, because there are a bunch of wonderful people out there.
I think Jack Cutchall needs a show on the Hometown Radio Network. He's got that voice. All right, story number two coming from Virginia, where teacher Erica Hoskin recently donated her waist-length hair to children with hair loss through the Great Cut event, benefiting children facing medical hair loss. The hair donations support children who have experienced bullying due to hair loss, providing them with wigs, bringing them renewed confidence and emotional relief as well. The event, which set a world record in 2019 for the largest hair donation in 24 hours, brings in hundreds of pounds of hair for children's wigs each year. And story number three coming from Indiana, where Odon Christian Church in Indiana, in a partnership with a national nonprofit, RIP Medical Debt, helped eliminate $4.1 million in medical debt for nearly 3,000 families in southwest Indiana. The initiative, spearheaded by Senior Minister Micah Stephen, was inspired by his father's battle with cancer and aimed to relieve the financial strain of medical expenses on families in need. For each dollar the church raised, approximately $100 of medical debt was paid, proving the significant impact that a small group can have in reducing the burden of medical debt. Pretty cool. Indiana Church pays off over $4 million in medical debt for 3,000 families. A Virginia teacher chops long locks for a mass hair donation event benefiting kids. And a stranger replaces an elderly New Mexico man's mobility scooter after his was stolen. That's what's going on in this morning's World of Absolute Good. Floyd Kramer, take us home, buddy. It's all yours. PRN's Garage Pass and Salamis at Sunrise is coming up next.
It's me, Gus the Gopher for Atmos Energy. Being a gopher, I like to dig. That's what us gophers were born to do, along with eating plants, taunting groundskeepers, and listening to bluegrass music. And I especially enjoy digging around the yard. Occasionally, I bump into a utility line and I get a headache. Ouch! After all, they're hard to miss since they can be buried anywhere. But if you hit one with your shovel, backhoe, or ditch digger, you could cause a gas leak, disrupt service, or worse. Makes me shaking my paws just thinking about it. You can avoid all of this by calling 811 at least 3 business days before you or someone else digs in your yard to have those underground utility-owned lines marked. Calling 811 will help protect your property, and more importantly, you. It's free, and it's the law. You dig what I'm saying? For more on safe digging, visit atmosenergy.com/811.
Everybody talks to everybody, right? You hire people from different places that went to the wind tunnel with Penske.
He's also graduated from the Drive for Diversity, just like myself, just like Bubba Wallace.
We rode our bikes out of the tunnel. I remember we were going like 30 miles an hour.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass.
Are you or someone you love struggling with an addiction to drugs or alcohol and want to be set free from the chains of addiction? Then call Addiction Helpline America right now to get the help you need. From drug and alcohol addiction to dual diagnosis treatment, we provide a confidential helpline to help people like you get sober and live happy, substance-free lives.
Treatment helped me get my life back. I was so addicted, the only person I could focus on was myself. Through treatment, I was able to overcome those demons and focus on my family again.
I used until I overdosed and almost died. I learned skills that helped me deal with life on life's terms.
800-646-4407, 800-646-4407, 800-646-4407. That's 800-646-4407.
Although they only recently got caught with a webbed left-hand driver's glove that could be held up to block air from coming into the car, giving it a little more speed during qualifying on speedways like Daytona and Atlanta. According to Corey LaJoy, what Joey Logano and Team Penske were up to maybe wasn't common knowledge, but there were apparently quite a few people who might have known about it.
Everybody talks to everybody, right? You hire people from different places that went to the wind tunnel with Penske, and they've got the 3D printed foam hand that they tape to the A-post bar and legitimately get a good read of what that is. So a normal hand without a Spider-Man web glove is 3 counts, so it might be worth a little bit more. They fined him 10 grand. I feel like that was worth it, but you know, hey, I appreciate the effort to try to get a little more.
Some good news, bad news. On the good side, the audience for the Las Vegas Cup race was up 9%, peaking at over 5.2 million viewers. The bad, Chris Buescher not only finished last on Sunday, but with his wheel coming off, both his jackman and front tire changer have been suspended for the next 2 races. And as a graduate of NASCAR's Drive for Diversity program, Daniel Suarez was genuinely happy for Rajah Caruth after he won the Las Vegas truck race.
Obviously, he made history being the 3rd African-American driver to win the National Series, and it's very special. Obviously, he's also graduated from the Drive for Diversity, just like myself, just like Bubba Wallace. So very happy that we're seeing good talent from the Drive for Diversity program.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Over the weekend, it was really windy at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, which led to Eric Almirola telling us this story.
Remember, Jimmy Johnson and I thought it would be a great idea to go for a bike ride on Friday between practice and qualifying. We rode our bikes out of the tunnel and went north on that road out there behind the racetrack. And I remember we were going like 30 miles an hour. And when we turned around to come back, we were like pedaling for all we were worth and going like 6 miles an hour. I mean, it was just an absolute grind. And we finally ended up having to call his bus driver, Viggy, to come pick us up because we weren't going to make it back in time to get ready to qualify.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Bundle home and auto and save. Visit Progressive.com.
Are you considering starting a business or expanding your existing business? Are you looking for a stable partner you can trust to help you understand your options? This is Ricky Peterson. I'm a loan officer at Whitaker Bank at the Danville Main Street office. As a part of your community, I'm here to help you understand the best options for you today and in the future. Give me a call at 859-236-9822. Let me show you what uniquely Kentucky means. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
Hey there, Jack. It's brought to you by Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance. They're your local independent insurance agency. They proudly represent the Auto Owners Insurance Company. You can call Mark or Chris for a free quote. Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, 236-6686. Partly sunny, 61 is your high today. Low tonight, 48. Tomorrow, showers likely, cloudy, a high of 65. On Saturday, rain showers are likely, 62. Sunday, sunny and a high of 50. Right now, we are looking at March the 7th, Thursday, March the 7th. It's 46 degrees here in Danville. Our phone number is 238-WHIR. That's 238-9447. 100% hilarious. So bad, they're good. Warning, these may make you cringe. It is this morning's Dad Joke of the Day. Here we go.
Dad Joke of the Day.
All right, here's your Dad Joke of the Day. What do you call a pony with a cough? What do you call a pony with a cough? A little horse. Pony with a cough. Well, that's the Dad Joke of the Day. You get it Mondays through Fridays at 6:50. As if it's not hard enough to get out of bed already, we give you a dad joke to wake up to. I think you want to roll over and restart the day all over again. Okay.
Welcome to the planet of the apps.
Okay, if you have a pet, and so many of us do, dogs, cats, whatever, there's an app that will help you find a pet sitter. It's called Rover. You can just enter your zip code with Rover, and someone will come over and sit your pet, your cat, your dog, and they have great reviews, too. This app may save you money, too, because many times your dog has to go to a kennel. Well, not now with Rover. And you can use the app to stay in touch with your pet sitter when you're away, too. It's getting great reviews for pet sitting. Rover. Let me know what you think. It's Rick Dees right here in this molten magma every day. We call it the Planet of the Apps.
Think of the Rick Dees, the Planet of the Apps, Mondays through Fridays in the Joe Show. At this time leads us into the Country Comic Spotlight, where in today's Spotlight we have Roger Radley. Roger Radley talking about how playgrounds, when he was growing up, a lot different than the playgrounds that they have now. Here's Roger Radley in the Country Comic Spotlight. They don't make playgrounds like they used to, says Roger.
I was raised different. I'm sure some of you were. When I was growing up, we didn't have playground equipment at the school made out of smooth, soft plastic with chopped foam and wood chips underneath it, surrounded by playground supervisors to encourage you to cooperate and participate in a positive manner so we could put gold stickers up on a calendar to improve your self-esteem and enhance your ego. What a crock of crap that was, huh? You know what we had, huh? Probably, huh? Metal pipes on an asphalt parking lot. Metal pipes painted with a lead-based paint. Remember that? And there was so much lead in it, you could peel it off with your fingernail and roll it into a ball and put it in your mouth. And spit it at other kids like a bullet. Until your hair started falling out and your vision went bad. But other than that, it was a good time. We would climb to the top of those metal poles, 15, 16 feet in the air. And we'd hang on rusty rings and chains. And then we'd see another kid hanging from a rusty ring. And we'd swing back and we'd kick him. And we'd start swinging back and forth and we'd be kicking at each other till we met in the middle, wrapped our legs around and started hitting each other's hands with that ring. We looked like a bunch of howler monkeys on crack fighting up there. Kids would fall. Kids fell. I fell. Hit the pavement. Broke my leg. Bone came ripping right out of my jeans, sticking right out like this. Yeah. No big deal, because my mother ran to my side like any good mother would. Ran right up to me, came up to me and said, well, stupid. Now, next time you'll know, stupid should hurt. Now walk it off.
Roger Radley in the Country Comic Spotlight. Rick Dees in this morning's Planet of the Apps and your dad joke of the day. Hey, you're waking up hungry? You know where to go. It's Wendy's for their brand new breakfast burrito breakfast meal. This is not your average run-of-the-mill breakfast burrito. We're talking about a delicious, hearty breakfast burrito with 6 strips of bacon, seasoned potatoes, 2 fresh cracked grade A eggs, and 2 slices of cheese, all wrapped in a warm flour tortilla. Wendy's breakfast burrito, you can get it in a combo meal as well with a side of seasoned potatoes. You got to really love the potatoes to do that, and they are really good because you get the potatoes in the burrito, but then you get it as a side as well. Cup of coffee to go along with it. The Wendy's breakfast burrito meal. Break your boring breakfast routine up and try its new routine, the breakfast burrito. You're going to make it your new routine after you try it out at participating Wendy's, including the one right here in Danville during breakfast hours. And while Wendy's is on your mind, go to hometownlive.net and sign up to win our Wendy's Office Breakfast Bash giveaway for 25 people, where Wendy's will deliver breakfast for 25 people in your office if you win this drawing. Hometownlive.net, click on Big Deals, and on the top bar of the screen where you can cycle through the different menu items, click on the Wendy's Office Breakfast giveaway for 25 people. And that's how you can register to win Wendy's at your office. 6:57 in the morning, 238 WHIR, your phone number to call in. 3 minutes away from our top hour news, right here on The Joe Show.
Hi, this is Jenny at the Danville Nutrition Center. At the Nutrition Center, we strive to help our customers achieve optimal health. From our high-quality collagen proteins to our immune system support vitamins, we are here to help you and your family stay healthy all throughout the year. We provide locally raised, free-range meats, eggs, and fresh milk and organic produce boxes delivered weekly. Your locally owned Danville Nutrition Center is here to serve you. Visit us at 802 South 4th Street in Danville. Danville Nutrition Center, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
The 2024-25 FAFSA is changing. Students complete the FAFSA to apply for financial aid to help pay for college. What's changing? The FAFSA is more user-friendly and more students will be eligible for aid than ever before. Because of the changes, the FAFSA may not be available until late December 2023. What's not changing? There's help. There are KIA counselors and others who are ready to help you complete the FAFSA. You're not in this alone. For more info, text MONEY to 1-800-928-8926. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
Catch the best of Sean Hannity, Saturday mornings, 10 to 1 on WHIR.
$6:58 in the morning. Cats win last night, 93-77. You had to stay up to near sunrise to watch the end of the game. I don't want to sound like an old curmudgeon here, because I'm 34 years old. And I'll be 35 in August, so I don't feel like I'm too old. But I think, to me, 9 o'clock in the evening start times are like weirdly late. Now, if you're on the West Coast and it starts 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock there, whatever. I'm okay with that. And I'm not going to protest and march around Rupp Arena, or I guess the SEC offices, and say 9 o'clock's too late, because I don't care that much about it. But like when the game ends 30 minutes before midnight, what are we doing here? So that was a game yesterday where I paid attention to the first half, saw it was close, 45-40 was the halftime score, went to bed, and then hoped when I checked the box score when I woke up this morning that the Cats would be on the right side of things. They were. 93-77 was the final. Kentucky shot 41% from deep, 11 for 27, and got a big game yesterday from Rob Dillingham. Scored 23 for the Cats, 20 for Antonio Reeves. You had 11 for DJ Wagner, and 10 for Reed Shepherd yesterday. I'm sorry, 8 for Reed Shepherd, but added 11 assists. So he was a basket away from a double-double. Kentucky 93-77 over Vanderbilt. The Commodores dropped to 8-22 with that loss. Kentucky has one game left. They're at Tennessee on Saturday, 7 o'clock in the morning.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 7 o'clock.
NBC News Radio. I'm Michael Kastner. President Biden is expected to play up the work his administration has done on things like infrastructure during his State of the Union address tonight.
Mr. Speaker! Mr. Speaker!
A preview of the speech says the president will outline how he's making the wealthy pay their fair share. He'll also push other policies that could pick up support from both sides of the aisle, like helping veterans and fighting cancer. South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham offered Donald Trump his congratulations yesterday after the former president's near sweep of Super Tuesday. He says Trump is well positioned to win the White House. The Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in former President Trump's immunity case on April 25th. More from Mark Mayfield.
Trump is appealing a lower court's ruling that denied his claim of having immunity from criminal prosecution in his federal election interference case. Special counsel Jack Smith's case against Trump is currently paused as the high court determines whether or not a former president can face charges for actions while in office. If it's ruled that the case against Trump can move ahead, then it may mean the trial would start not long before November's presidential election. Trump became the only remaining GOP candidate Wednesday after former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley ended her campaign.
Alabama Governor Kay Ivey signed an in vitro fertilization protection bill shortly after it was officially passed on Wednesday. The new law protects providers from lawsuits and criminal prosecution for the damage or death of an embryo during IVF services. The Texas cattle industry is suffering severe damage from the wildfires in the Panhandle. Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller says at least 3,600 cows have been killed, and the number is growing. And formerly Twitter owner Elon Musk says the social media platform is considering getting rid of showing how many likes and reposts a post gets. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800.
The trial of James Crumley will begin now that a jury has been seated. Brian Shook reports.
Crumley is facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter for the actions of his son Ethan, who shot and killed 4 students at Oxford High School in 2021. The jury selection process was difficult as Crumley's attorneys wanted to make certain jurors were not prejudiced by the extensive coverage of the shooting. Crumley's wife, Jennifer, was found guilty on the same manslaughter charges last month.
Congressman Adam Schiff and former Dodger Steve Garvey will square off in November for the California U.S. Senate seat formerly held by the late Dianne Feinstein. On the heels of his primary win, the Republican baseball legend says he's going to stick to what got him to this point.
We're not going to do much differently. Look where we've come in 5 months as compared to 25 years for my competitor. Pure politician. His policies have failed the people.
With mail-in ballots left to be counted, the Burbank Democrat and the Republican baseball legend have garnered about 33% of the vote each. Irvine Congresswoman Katie Porter is a distant third. A Georgia congressman is using the Laken Riley murder case to send a message to President Biden. More from Mitch Evans.
When the president makes his State of the Union address on Thursday night, there will be an open seat at the U.S. Capitol building to honor the nursing student who was brutally murdered on the UGA campus last month. Athens 10th District Representative Mike Collins invited Riley's parents to attend the annual speech, but they declined. So Collins wants the president to, quote, see an empty seat in the gallery that memorializes those who are no longer with us because of his open border, end quote. The 22-year-old Riley was allegedly killed by Jose Ibarra, a man from Venezuela who ICE says illegally entered the country near El Paso, Texas in 2022.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Papa's Truck Stop. Start this bus! The Bristol Express is on its way to the Food City 500 St. Patty's Day, and we got 2 seats for you. Go Chill Limo and Papa's Truck Stop will put that check on your bucket list. It's Bristol, baby, and there will be 2 winners every Wednesday up to the race to win. Register now at Papa's Truck Stop in Danville. Who's this week's winner?
Tina Bramer.
And Logan Boyd. We're drawing 2 more winners next week, and it can be you.
Thank you, Papa's Truck Stop. It's Bristol, baby.
Good morning to you. It's Bristol, baby. And it's Thursday, March the 7th. It's Thursday, baby. All right, we get partly sunny skies. 61 is the high. Daniel Elliott joins the show after our local news, brought to you by Stuart Powell Ford Mazda.
It's all about you and Stuart Powell.
Hi, this is Fred Sizemore, General Manager at Stuart Powell Ford, where we make it easy to do business with us. Our team is dedicated to providing you with a hassle-free experience from start to finish. Whether you're in the market for a new vehicle or need to get your current vehicle serviced, we have you covered. Stop by and see how easy we make it at 225 South Danville Bypass or anytime at StuartPowellFord.com.
Stuart Powell Ford Mazda.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
Danville police are looking for a man who led them on a chase where speeds reached triple digits. The incident happened on Tuesday just before 6 o'clock when police were called to a local hotel after a seemingly intoxicated man was denied a room. While responding, officers were told that the passenger was leaving the area in a silver Toyota Scion and was near Cattleman's Roadhouse. Police found the vehicle and attempted to perform a traffic stop with one police cruiser behind him and another positioned himself at the Cattleman's exit near the bypass. The suspect, who was identified as 30-year-old Hagen Black, did not stop, instead turning right onto the bypass, traveling in the direction towards Stanford. With Danville police and other agencies joining the pursuit, speeds reached over 100 miles per hour, with Black weaving in and out of traffic. Safety concerns led to police terminating that chase, and Lincoln and Stanford officers later found that Toyota Scion abandoned in the parking lot of the Stanford Domino's. The suspect, Hagen Black, is a Junction City native and is wanted now on several charges. If you have any information, contact Danville Police. A former Boyle County deputy sheriff has been found guilty on criminal civil rights violations and obstruction of justice. We've been following this story regarding former Deputy Tanner Abbott, who was fired from the Boyle County Sheriff's Office after complaints that he used excessive force on 4 people while he arrested them, then wrote false reports to cover up his actions. He was indicted on those charges back in October and has now been found guilty. He'll be sentenced on those charges on June the 7th in Lexington. Governor Andy Beshear has vetoed a bill that would outlaw some local housing discrimination bans. It's House Bill 18, which passed both the GOP-dominated House and Senate rather easily, and would make it so local governments can't force landlords to accept federal housing assistance as a source of rent money. Beshear says that the bill would make it harder for Kentuckians to get into affordable housing. Boyle and Casey County State Rep Daniel Elliott, though, says landlords he's talked to are in support of the bill.
The issue oftentimes is that the voucher may cover 80% of rent due, doesn't cover the final 20%, and then these landlords have trouble getting that 20% because the tenant thinks that the Section 8 covers the entire amount. And so that's the issue I've heard about, at least when I've talked to landlords here.
The General Assembly now has a chance to override Beshear's veto, and it appears they would have the votes to do that if they choose to. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
This morning's local news was a service of Stuart Powell Ford Mazda on the bypass in Danville and online at stuartpowell.com.
Listen to us on your smart speaker. Just ask to play our call letters. WHIR.
Delta Airlines is hiking its checked bag fees by 5%.
Pack your bags. We're going to take you on a musical journey like no other with Take 3. They'll be at the Boyle County Performing Arts Center Thursday, March 14th at 7 p.m. That's where rock meets Bach. This unique trio of violin, cello, and piano brings together the power and energy of rock music with the sophistication and beauty of classical Bach. Experience a fusion of styles that'll leave you breathless and wanting more. With their virtuosic performances and electrifying stage presence, Take 3 is a must-see show that'll thrill audiences of all ages. Don't you dare miss it. It will be Thursday, March 14th at 7 p.m. Boyle County Performing Arts Center, Take 3. classically infusing the favorites of the Beatles, Bieber, or Coldplay. Take 3 are nothing short of exhilarating and have electrified audiences for years. Take 3, Bull County Performing Arts Center, Thursday, March 14th, 7 p.m. The Bull County Performing Arts Center is located at 315 Cunningham Way, Bull County Middle School.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends over at the Big Deals online store. Go to hometownlive.net. Shop and save on gift certificates to local businesses at big-time discounts. You can go to hometownlive.net, up to 50% savings every single day, and then register to win Wendy's breakfast for 25 people in your office. Partly sunny, high of 61. Low tonight, 48. Rain showers likely tomorrow, 65. On Saturday, showers likely, high of 62. Sunday, sunshine, and a high Sunday of 50. Right now, it's 7:10 in the morning. Boyle County State Rep Daniel Elliott is on the show. Good morning, Daniel. How are you?
Hey, Joe. Good morning. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing great, Daniel. Doing great. Appreciate you being on. Let me ask you this, Daniel. I just heard that commercial for the Boyle County Performing Arts Center. They're having a band called Take 3 come in. So if you were to see, Daniel, 3 bands or musical artists so you can create your own music festival, which 3 artists would you pick to see? Now, I know you told me you're an Elton John fan, right? So would that be one of them?
That would be one of, yeah, he would be one of them. That's a tough question, Joe. I have a lot of groups that I like.
You can only pick 3.
That's hard. I'd probably have to think about it.
Yeah.
Probably have to think about it because I probably have more than 3 that I would want to see. So, so I'd probably have to think about it. I might answer that in the morning.
Is that maybe the hardest question that someone asks you all day, Daniel?
I hope not.
you hope you're answering more important questions as the day goes on.
I like the Eagles. That's for sure. That's an old group, but I like them. I know they're on their last tour, I believe, this year.
Okay.
And I think they were in Lexington back in the fall, but pricey. A lot of my choices are too pricey, Joe.
Okay.
Part of the issue is they're always on a final tour, it seems like.
Well, maybe, Daniel, you can have them play at the state capitol. We can just you can invite them to a state capitol day, and then it won't have to be too pricey for you. They're doing it for all the legislators.
There you go. And maybe the Chain Smokers. That's a newer.
Okay, yeah, I know the Chain Smokers are. Okay.
Those 3. That's kind of an interesting.
That is an interesting lineup. Okay, Elton John, the Eagles, I can, I understand, 2 kind of older artists or bands, classic one, and then you got the Chain Smokers in there, which kind of throws everybody for a loop. Yeah. Hey, Daniel.
They're good, though.
Daniel, you all, in fact, you got to work so quickly on House Bill 118 that my news is already kind of out of date. Because I've got a story in our news about how you all may potentially have the votes to veto it. Certainly looked like you would, and you all went ahead and vetoed House Bill 118 yesterday. Overturned the veto on House Bill 118 yesterday that Governor Beshear had vetoed. Daniel, seemed like that was a pretty easy thing for you all to do. That took place relatively quickly.
It did. It happened quicker than I thought it would, and then the Senate. We acted first, of course, because it was a House bill, and then the Senate voted very quickly to override, and then the Secretary of State signed the override, I guess, yesterday afternoon when we concluded our sessions. The governor actually, I think, went to Louisville and held a press conference where he announced his veto, and just by chance, as I was walking up to the House chamber, he was coming out of the rotunda, and he and I greeted each other and shook each other's hand and went on our way. But, that did happen yesterday, and no surprise, obviously, with the way that the law is, or the Constitution works in Kentucky on an override. It takes a simple majority, or a constitutional majority, which is 51 votes in the House, to override a veto. In some states, it's a 3/5 requirement or a 2/3 requirement. Not in Kentucky, and so it's pretty easy to override a governor's veto in our state.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Daniel. Governor Beshear went to Louisville to announce that he had vetoed the bill, and by the time he got back, the veto had been overturned. Is that the timeline?
No, he was back before we started our session, and the only reason I know that is because I greeted him as he was coming out of the rotunda. He was going to do an interview, and he was walking back to do the interview, and we ran into each other and said hello. And our session hadn't started yet, but it didn't take long for it to happen. That's for sure.
He didn't shake your hand and say, "How dare you"?
No.
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 Does he know who you are?
He
Like,
and I
would he say,
have
"Hey, Daniel, how you doing"?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, he didn't say my name, but obviously we know each other, and, I think he was actually, interestingly enough, the day I was sworn in, soon to be 8 years ago, Joe, which is hard to believe, he was in attendance at that when he was the Attorney General, and he and I talked right after the swearing in, and he and I have always tried to
I
be
will
cordial when we see each other out.
Yeah, I will say he seems like he's a nice guy. I know you have philosophical
he's
differences.
very nice.
Yeah, seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, I think he's nice, and he's he and I have some policy differences, but I don't agree with all of my own Republican colleagues every day either. So it's just what makes the system work, and there will be a lot of vetoes and a lot of overrides, I'm sure, during this session. And the same thing happened with Governor Bevin as well. There were some, overrides of him when he was governor. So, I think it's an issue, at least on the House bill that you're talking about and that you had the news on, that we're talking about. It's an issue of private property rights and whether those overcome and are more significant than local ordinances. And in this case, we thought they were, he thought they weren't. And I think that's the difference.
Bull and Casey County State Rep Daniel Elliott. Daniel, real quickly, what do you all have in store, you think, for today? Anything that you know of that will be hitting the House floor?
Joe, we have in our, of course, there's always, orders of the day listed, which I'm looking at it at the moment. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, have about 12 or 13 bills that could be called up for a vote today. Just looking at the numbers, I don't see any of them that are, largely that impactful. Most of the bills that we passed yesterday were fairly mundane. I think the one bill that drew probably the most attention was a parental access to their children who are under 18's medical records, providing a process for parents to do that. There was an amendment that was offered to restrict access to a particular statute that would have involves a minor seeking health care around reproductive medical care, around sexual trauma, that sort of thing. There was an amendment offered that was rejected that would have protected from the person who offered the amendment, indicating that, well, what if the child's being abused and so forth. But the sponsor believes, and I think the rest of us have a belief, that the medical provider can deny that access if they believe that there's some neglect or abuse or harm that the child is experiencing at home, and that's why the parent wants the information so they can figure out if the child is told on them. So we felt like that was covered, but that was hotly debated, and it was kind of an odd thing to see that we did have several. Well, I think all the Democrats voted against it, but most people think that a parent ought to have access to their child's medical records unless there's some HIPAA requirement that precludes it, or some other extenuating circumstance to protect the child. But that was that was an interesting debate to have down on the floor. That you had 19 or 20 people vote no to giving parents access to their children's medical records. I didn't think I'd ever see that, honestly.
We're with Boyle and Casey County State Rep Daniel Elliott. Daniel, what time do you all gavel in today?
We will go in at 2, Joe.
All right.
And I have to be there at 9 a.m. For a committee meeting, but
I thought you were going
is the official start.
Going through a pregame or something like that. My God, goodness, that's a long time, Daniel, to get ready for the session at 2 o'clock and get there at 9 in the morning. But you got meetings. That makes sense.
It is. We're there, and I was there last night till 6 or 6:30. So most of us are there. Really long days, and especially towards the last. I think today will be 46. So the last 15 or 20 days seem to get a lot longer.
Did you make it home in time to watch UK?
I listened to it on the radio. I actually went out to the wellness center and worked out, and then came home and I listened to it on the radio. So it sounds like they had a good night.
Yeah. Hey, when you're out just like living your Daniel Elliott life, like working out at the wellness center or grocery shopping or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Do people ever come up to you and say like, "Hey, why did you do that?" Or, "Hey, I just want to talk to you about this." Or do they understand, like, hey, he's just trying to live life right now. I'm not going to approach him.
At the wellness center, that doesn't happen, but I think I go so late that there are only 4 or 5 people in there. But yeah, it does happen if I'm out and about regular hours. But, usually the wellness center, I've got to use the little 24-hour key to get in, so which is nice, because otherwise I probably wouldn't be able to be a member out there.
You mean they don't have a gym in the Capitol?
No, they don't. No, they don't have a gym there. It's not like Congress. So
sitting there pumping iron next to Governor Bashir, doing curls with the governor.
that would be interesting if we had that. We might have a little more collegiality.
Yeah.
If we had a.
Hey, Andy, can you spot me? I'm trying to bench here. Andy, can you spot me? I think people get along a lot better if y'all had a gym. You had to spot each other and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd help out.
But to answer your question, generally it does happen, and a lot of times it's not on it may be about a specific issue or now 3 or 4 or 5 years ago I think I got it more when Governor Bevin was in, because some of the actions that he was taking with public education, pensions, etc., were in the news.
Yeah.
And, drew a lot of attention. So I got it more, I think, when I first got into office than I do now. A lot of times now, if somebody needs me, they'll call me in Frankfurt, or they'll send me an email, and they'll try to make kind of a formal request, which is good, because sometimes it's easy to forget that you ran into somebody and they ask you to do something or what have you, and it's easy to forget that sometimes if it's not in writing.
Boyle County State Rep Daniel Elliott. Daniel, we appreciate you being on. Safe travels. I almost said good luck tonight, but safe travels. Good luck today during session, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow, okay?
Thanks, Joe.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That's Boyle County State Rep Daniel Elliott. I say good luck if I'm talking to a coach. Speaking of talking to coaches, we're talking with DCA coach Don Story. His Warriors play their first ever game in the 12th Region Tournament tonight. We'll be talking with Coach Story coming up here at the time we usually interview coaches. 7:20-ish. They were running a little bit behind today. Coach Story comes on here next.
This Steve Bertram Sports Report is a service of Stuart Powell Ford Mazda on the Danville Bypass and online at stuartpowell.com.
Hi, this is Fred with Stuart Powell Ford here in Danville. And since 1949, Stuart Powell has made it easy for Central Kentuckians to purchase new and pre-owned vehicles by providing quality products and services at a fair price, all while treating our customers like family. What you may not know is that we also purchase vehicles directly from individuals. We pay market value for pre-owned vehicles, and there is never an obligation to purchase another one from us. So stop by and see us here at 225 South Danville Bypass, and we'll make it easy for you to sell it at a fair price while being treated like family.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. Kentucky downed Vanderbilt in their final home game of the season last night, 93-77. Vandy shot well early and stayed with the Cats, but UK managed to go up 45-40 at the half after they hit 4 straight threes. Rob Dillingham continued his magic act with back-to-back threes just before halftime. He led the Cats with 23, while Antonio Reeves added 20. Reed Shepherd had 11 of UK's 27 assists. Kentucky ends the regular season Saturday down at Tennessee on Z105. Tennessee clinched first place in the SEC last night with a 66-59 win at South Carolina. Arkansas topped LSU 94-83, and Texas A&M down Mississippi State 75-69. Tennessee's on top of the SEC at 14-3, while Alabama, Auburn, South Carolina, and Kentucky are all tied for second at 12-5. Last night in the boys' 12th region tournament, Mercer County eliminated Southwestern 55-42. Host Pulaski County blew out Boyle County 71-44. Mercer and PC beat Monday night at 6:30 on WHBN-FM. Tonight's boys' 12th region play features Danville Christian Academy taking on Wayne County around 8:15 on Z105, with DCA hoping for its first ever 12th region tournament win. In the opener, Somerset faces Trinity Christian at 6:30. The winners meet in the second game Monday night at PC. The girls' 12th region semifinals are set for tomorrow night at Lincoln County. Hometown Radio brings you the opener as Danville Christian plays Rockcastle County at 6:30 on Z105. The nightcap features West Jessamine and Southwestern. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Do you know why a baseball player wants to make it to second base over just first base? Do you know why someone would order a double shot of espresso? Because a double is always better than a single. And the same goes for the Big Mac. Oh, glorious Big Mac. The only way to make you better was to double you. 4 100% beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Oh, you sandwich of deliciousness. You double Big Mac. Get it today at McDonald's of Danville and Harrodsburg.
If you want to make the most of your vacation, there's no better place than the Bluegrass State. Kentucky's 44 state parks offer abundant places to play and diverse accommodations to stay. Take a hike, float your boat, or bike the trails. Pitch a tent under the stars or settle into a lakefront lodge. Tee up for 18 holes. Then enjoy a signature meal. Plan your trip at parks.ky.gov.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends over at ADA Heating and Air. Trust ADA to be there when you need them the most. ADA is always on the way. Call them 859-519-6382. That's ADA Heating and Air. Partly sunny, a high today 61. A low tonight 48. Rain showers likely tomorrow. 65 is your high. And then on Saturday, rain showers high at 62. It's 7:28 in the morning right now. It is 45 degrees. Thursday, March the 7th. And it is 12th region opening round action tonight as DCA takes on Wayne County for the first ever boys basketball region tournament game for the DCA Warriors. And we welcome onto the show DCA boys basketball coach Don Story. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Good morning.
Yeah.
It is early.
I know it's early in the morning. I was going to ask you, what time do you usually wake up, Coach?
Well, I am retired, and
so this is early.
DCA, so this is a little bit early for me, but I'm good.
Good to go. Yes.
Game day.
Yeah, get you up early. You can drop some more plays in your spare time, right?
There you go.
I don't know if you want to be adding new plays, though, 12 hours before tip-off. See, that's why I'm not a coach. I wouldn't do well coaching. Coach, let's talk about your DCA Warriors team. They are 24-6 through their first 30 games of the year. And there's no doubt the name of the game is defense for you all. The last game you played against Boyle County snapped a streak of 18 consecutive games where you held your opponents to 50 points or less. Now, Boyle only scored 52 on you, so it's not like they put up a ton. But, I mean, if you hold teams to 50 points or less every game, you're going to have a great chance to win, and that's kind of what's led you all to this point. The number one ranked defense in the state of Kentucky in terms of points per game, Coach, is your DCA Warriors.
Yeah, we've really tried to put an emphasis on that. Of course, we've got some length that keeps people away from the rim, hopefully, and then we got some guards that'll play good defense out on the perimeter. We just try to do our best, and we've challenged them to be a great defensive team, kind of, as coaches say, hang their hat on defense, and we try to get after you. But we'll see what happens tonight. We're looking forward to the challenge, and it's going to be a great challenge.
Yeah, really good Wayne County team you got tonight. You just played them 2 weeks ago. It was a game that I called on right here on WHIR, and you all beat Wayne County 56-37. It was the lowest output of points Wayne County has had the entire season. This is a really good Wayne County offense. They are the only team in the 12th region to score more than 2,000 points in the season. And you held them to 37, Coach. They shot 1 of 12 from three-point range. They seemingly were rattled by you all's length, like you mentioned. But we know, again, this is a great offense led by one of the great coaches in the state, in Rodney Woods. Coach, how do you handle this Wayne County team tonight?
Well, it's going to be obviously a different game tonight, and a big game down there in Pulaski County, and first time we've been in the region. But we are really looking forward to it. I think our guys are enthusiastic about taking on the challenge, and we realize it's going to be a big challenge. They've got a great team led by a couple of brothers that are shooting the ball really well, and got some athletes and a big guy inside and a good little point guard. So our challenge, it's going to be a big challenge for us.
This is the first time that you all have played a region tournament game. How do you all handle that pressure, or do you still kind of feel like you can come in loose? It's your first time kind of playing with house money type feeling. How do you think the kids are going to handle it?
Well, you don't know exactly, but we try to just approach it like any other game. We've told the kids every game throughout the season, this is the biggest game of the year, and really it is because it's the only game that matters. And, I've known this for a while, but when you played them 2 weeks ago, it really doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what happens that night. So we're approaching it that way. It's a new game. It's just a game, although it shares some importance as far as being a regional game. But we're just trying to approach it as any other game, but it's our biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to approach it that way.
Yeah, you can use, honestly, Coach, the Boyle County game as an illustration for what they did last night against Pulaski County. They played 2 weeks ago. Pulaski County beat them by 4, 62-58. It was a game the Rebels started off a little slow in and only lost by 4. And then last night, you see Pulaski beat them by 27. So it's like you said, it doesn't matter what happens the first game. It matters what happens this game. And I'm sure you've been preaching that the entire week at practice, haven't you?
Yeah, we go over that a lot, and I'm sure the kids heard that probably too much. But we're fired up and ready to go, and know it's going to be a big game, a challenge. And you're right, they've got a great coach and a great program, and I'm looking forward to how our guys handle it. I think they're going to go out and just play hard and play energetic and play the best game of the year. That's what we're trying to do.
Coach, I expect the DCA Warrior faithful to be there and be loud. You all have a fan base that travels really, really well. They show up for all the home games. They show up for the road games, particularly those road games like this, like in the All-A tournament or district or region tournament time. And it is a small but mighty student section and fan section that you all have that supports you all, and they get loud, don't they?
Oh, yeah. We love our fans, and we hope if they travel down to Pulaski tonight, and I know they will. They've given us great support all year, and our players really respond to that and enjoy playing for. We're such a small community, so to speak, that we got to stay together and support each other, and the boys support the girls support the boys. And it's just a great atmosphere at DCA.
Yeah, Coach, I was a student at DCA in 6th and 7th grade, and that was before they had the school right across from where I'm broadcasting at right now. It was when the school was at Calvary and Gethsemane Baptist Church. And so as a 6th and 7th grader, I went to middle school at Gethsemane Baptist Church, and it has been, from my perspective, awesome to see, because I never would have thought what was going on now would have happened back when I was in middle school. And yet here you are, you've won 24 games, you have a chance to certainly make a run in this region tournament, and I think for all the DCA alum or even people who went there just for a time back when that school was starting up, to see where you all are now, there is exponential pride in what you all have been able to do with your basketball team and your athletics program in general.
Well, I think to be honest, we're just thankful, and all glory. And I know we say this a lot, but it's true. All glory and all this goes to God. He is the one that has engineered it all from the start, the roots of the school to now. I know people that started the school, and they just love the Lord and give all the glory to Him for what He's doing, what He has done, what He will do, and we're just thankful.
DCA coach Don Story. Coach, before we let you go, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask an off-the-wall question. It is the same. Right. It's the same question I asked our state rep Daniel Elliott. If Coach, if you were to pick 3 musical artists or bands to see to make the Don Story Music Festival, who are the 3 that you're picking for the 3 headliners for the Don Story Music Festival?
Okay, this is probably going to be crazy, but
go ahead.
Back when I was in high school, I loved the band Journey.
Okay, yeah.
So I like Journey. Probably as far as what kind of music I listen to now, it would probably be Toby Mac.
Okay, my son and daughter love Toby Mac, so we'll be coming to that second night headliner show.
Okay, sounds good. So you want one more? I'm going to go kind of back when I was in college. One of my favorite was Amy Grant. And I know that's off the charts here, there, and the other, but that's 3 people that stick out to me right now.
Okay.
So here you go.
I'm trying to track how we would. So night number 1 is Journey. Night number 2 is Toby Mac. Night number 3 is Amy Grant. This concert is live in the field back behind the Danville Christian Academy Gymnasium.
Hey, that would attract a lot of different types of people.
It would bring a lot of people to the campus. I'm not sure the parking lot's big enough. We'd have overflow parking here at the radio station. That's what we have to do. Coach, appreciate you being on. Tip-off tonight is at 8:15, and obviously DCA would love to have you come out and support. If you can't make it out, we'll have the live tip-off and coverage on our sister station, Z105. Coach Don Story. Coach, appreciate it. We'll talk to you later, okay?
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. Bye. That's DCA basketball coach Don Story. 7:38 in the morning, we've got Jessica Besson giving us a lesson with the County Agent's Corner. Coming up next.
Almost every small Kentucky town has a go-to restaurant. In Central Kentucky, it's the Bread of Life Cafe in Liberty. If you like a good buffet, you'll love the huge down-home cooking featuring 3 fully stocked buffet tables, or you can order off their extensive menu. You'll find something delicious for every person in the family at the Bread of Life Cafe. Visit the gift and sweet shop at the Bread of Life Cafe, 5 miles south of Liberty on Highway 127. Open till 8, Monday through Thursday, 9 Friday and Saturday. Feed your tummy and your soul with a stop at the Bread of Life Cafe and Buffet, 5 miles south of Liberty.
Wow, Tricky's Car Wash is ready to make your vehicle look its very best. Tricky's Car Wash behind Smart Lube off South 4th Street. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, and on Saturdays by appointment. Pickup and delivery service is available. 583-0560. Wash only $15. Wash and interior $25. Wash plus wax plus interior $50. And full detail, talk with Tricky. Tricky's Car Wash, 430 Bay Street, 583-0560, right behind Smart Lube off South 4th. Tricky's Car Wash.
So creamy it melts in your mouth, Mom Blakeman's candy.
Mom Blakeman's has made the world's best cream pull candy, and we have been making potato candy. We ship all over the world and have it in many retail stores. You are welcome to stop by our shop in Lancaster to sample or purchase any of our 7 flavors of cream pull candy and potato candy. We have a variety of tubs and tins available. Visit our website at momblakeman'scandy.com or call 800-542-4607.
Kentucky has one of the most expansive state park systems in the nation. For decades, the parks have been bringing people together for family reunions, fishing, hiking, and a wealth of other activities. What's your favorite memory of a Kentucky state park? Unfortunately, it takes more than governmental support to keep the parks vibrant. The Kentucky State Parks Foundation raises money to create educational programs for elementary school kids to connect them with nature, handicappable hiking trails, and the preservation of historical artifacts. Make a tax-deductible donation online at KentuckyStateParksFoundation.org.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends at Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision and auto body repair. Head to the mechanics at Danville Auto Body Shop. 315 Delahaye. Call ahead for an appointment, 236-2299. Partly sunny, 61 is your high. A low tonight of 48. Cloudy skies tomorrow, high of 65. And on Saturday, rain showers are likely, high of 62. And then, I mentioned this in the 6 o'clock hour, we spring forward Sunday morning, so we lose an hour of sleep. But you'd say, you know what, it's okay, because it's going to be warmer weather. So the weather will give us something to be excited about, even though losing an hour's sleep won't. But then the high is only 50 on Sunday, the low is 30. And I feel like the world is working against us, Jessica, on Sunday. That's not
I
what
keep
we want.
forgetting that it's happening. Like, we're going to lose an hour of sleep.
Springing forward there on Sunday. So we get the extra hour of daylight, though how much time are you going to want to spend outdoors when it's below 50 degrees at that point? So
Right,
yeah. Jessica's on here to give us a lesson. Jessica Besson, brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market in Stanford.
Get the top price for your livestock. Take them to the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, where they have drop-off hours to fit the busy farmer's needs. Selling your livestock a profitable and a pleasant experience. Save the hassle of a long haul. Sell your livestock at the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, 277 Courtier Road in Stanford. Call Bluegrass South Livestock Market at 606-365-0665. Bluegrass South Livestock Market in Stanford.
Here's Jessica Besson.
All right, so kind of to tie in like what Joe just said about the weather coming up, you know, it feels nice and warm a couple of these days where it feels like we should be able to get out there and plant everything, but it's still going to be a little too cold to plant most of our things in our garden. With that, it's still a good time to start just planning your garden and planning to prevent diseases this summer and spring. So the best vegetable garden sites are in sunny with adequate moisture and fertile, well-drained soils. So when you're thinking about your garden, avoid low spots, which can worsen soil-borne diseases, and shady locations, which worsen foliar diseases. Prior to planting, it's advisable to draw a planting map. This allows you the considerations and site limitations and succession planting. Scale these models of the garden space can be drawn on graph paper or simple maps that may be used on virtual spreadsheets. Think about your perennial crops. Choose the locations carefully for them to make tilling more convenient, and think about taller crops such as sweet corn or tomatoes. They could be planted on the north or west side of the garden. Avoid shading shorter plants, or maybe you do want them to shade some of your early season crops to keep them going in the later summer. Retain your maps from year to year when referring to planning for the following season. And in the same garden site is used each year, avoid planting the same or closely related crops with each other and the same identical place. A 3-year rotation is recommended. However, even a year or two out of a certain plant family can be beneficial. Crop rotation prevents disease-causing pathogens from building up in the soil, and multiple crops are closely related to each other and are prone to the same issues. So you want to avoid planting all your solanaceous crops in the same place each year. So solanaceous are an example of the nightshade family. So that's your tomatoes, peppers, potato, and eggplant. Your cucurbits, you want to plant them separately each year. So those are your gourds, your squash, melons, cucumbers, pumpkin, watermelon, and then you have your legumes, your beans and peas, lily family, you have onion and garlic, and then in our grass family we have corn. So just want to try to rotate those around because all of those plants in those same families share a lot of the same diseases. So even though the weather is kind of a little funky right now, it's still a good time to go ahead and plan out our summer gardens. You can get a few things out already. It's getting around the corner for potato planting season right now, but just, keep in mind that we can still have a good cold snap coming up, and you might want to wait a little bit before putting everything out in that garden. Another little reminder, talked last Tuesday about other things coming up with the Extension Office, but something I forgot to mention is the Mercer County Conservation Office tree giveaway, because I won't be back on the radio until after this happens. But the Mercer County Conservation Office gives away tree seedlings every year to Mercer County residents. This year they'll have bald cypress, white oak, silky dogwood, red oak, yellow poplar, white pine, and redbud. The giveaway should start around March 28th. And if you have any questions, give Miss Linda Lake a call at the Conservation Office at 859-734-4326. So that's today's farm news. Thanks for tuning into our program. Join us each week at this time for the County Agent's Corner, a service of the Mercer County UK Cooperative Extension Office.
There you go, Jessica Besson giving us a lesson this morning on the County Agent's Corner. All right, Jessica, before you go, I got some random facts, but first, let's wish a happy 50th birthday today, the big 5-0, to the actress who I believe plays the villain in the TV show The Office. At least she was the villain for the first 3 to 4 seasons. She was in a horrible relationship, had a great guy who wanted her, refused to break it off, and then when the guy finally left and found himself someone to love, she broke up that relationship. It's Jenna Fisher, who turns 50 years old today, plays Pam Beesly in the TV show The Office. I think her and Jim could definitely be qualified as villains. Maybe Jim more so than Pam, because Jim's unnecessary bullying towards Dwight. And I think it's funny, first of all, but in today's day and time, Jessica, bullying is not something that's glorified. And he is a bully to Dwight. I do think that, and then not only that, but then you look at the end of the show, where she basically has an emotional affair on her husband.
Yeah, but he lies about his job thing, too.
That doesn't give her, you think that gives her a right to have an emotional affair?
No.
So, I mean, I
don't know. I'd have to see lay out your full argument about it.
I'm not saying,
I thought you were going to say it was Jan's birthday.
I don't think Jan's a villain. I think that she's
crazy.
Yeah. You know what? I don't really, in terms of villains, there's not someone that you're necessarily rooting against in the show. I think that, you could probably go into any office, maybe in any big city where there's a number of different personalities that work in the office, and find people who probably mirror each person in that office.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I don't think...
We often talk about that in Extension. Is compared to The Office or Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Maybe more Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
That's how we operate.
Yeah. I don't think Pam is necessarily the villain. I think that she has villainous moments.
You're not the only one. I hear that because I listen to the Office Ladies podcast, and they talk about that, how Pam is often referred to as the villain. So you're not the only one with that theory.
There you go. That is not our random fact moment, however.
But it's a good one.
It is a good conversation starter for people driving to work to think about whether or not Pam Beesly is the villain. But here we go. Fact number 1, Alabama is the only state in the country that contains all of the major natural resources needed to make iron and steel. The only country in the nation, the only state in the nation, Alabama. All the natural resources to make iron and steel. Yeah, number 2, there are 54 different animals that were in the original brand of animal crackers since 1902. They've had 54 different animals.
Oh, not all at one time.
Not all at one time. No, sorry. I didn't say that right. Yeah, no. Since 1902, they've had 54 different animals. The most recent addition was in 2002 when they added the koala bear.
We always have animal crackers here. And do they sell them in boxes anymore? I always just see them in the bags, but maybe we just buy them in the bags because
I think they're bagged now.
My children demand them a lot, so maybe that's why.
We were never a big animal cracker house. The Mathis household was not. We do have goldfish, though. We're a goldfish house.
That's what's always requested, goldfish and animal crackers.
Yes. Number 3, the Philippines also created an Independence Day on July the 4th. Only theirs was for the day they got their independence from the U.S. in 1946. Since 1964, they've celebrated the holiday on June 12th instead, which commemorates their independence from Spain. So they had to get independence from the U.S. They got that in 1946. Then in 1964, they switched their Independence Day to celebrate it when they got independence from Spain.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And then number 4, bananas are curved because they fight gravity to grow towards the sun.
Okay, I can see that.
That's why bananas are curved.
I did a whole talk on bananas once in college. They told us to pick a random fruit or vegetable, and I did bananas, and I learned that they are not actually trees, to blow your mind today. They grow more like, they're like an onion. If you cut them, they have like layers like an onion.
Really?
Yeah, and they have they just make clones of each other. So it's like a mother plant, and then when it reproduces, it pops up a daughter plant, and they cut the main one down, and then the new one pops up. So they just kind of like make clones of each other, propagate that way.
Now, aren't
your random banana facts for the day?
Aren't like all the bananas that we eat now are like kind of like the same variety? They like switched them in the grocery stores in like the 60s or something?
Yeah, so they're pretty much all the same variety, which is kind of an issue because I've heard recently that they are having a lot of issues with Phytophthora, which is a root rot that they can get. So there's hundreds of banana varieties out there, but they just don't look like the traditional bananas that we're used to, right?
Yeah.
So there are ones that are much smaller, larger, ones that have seeds, ones that don't. They apparently, I've had some of them before, then they taste like, will be like super sweet, almost like candy. Some of them will.
Wow.
But, you know, that's a thing because they worry about what happens if they can't get this disease stuff under control, and then how will the
public react to buying different looking bananas?
Yeah, different bananas.
Yeah. And we know what bananas.
But you're right.
We know what they look like, right? And if you go in the store and the banana looks different, you're going to think there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, they're pretty much all the same ones, though. So
that's why I was told that Runts candy, Runts, they have the little candy bananas in it, that they've based that banana flavor off the old bananas because Runts were created when a different type of banana was sold. So, like, you can eat banana-flavored candy, per se, and it doesn't necessarily taste like bananas that we know of today because they're all based on the old variety of banana.
Yeah, and they all taste a little different, right? Mm-hmm. And some, like, there's one variety that's ripe when it's green. So imagine, like, trying to
sell that to people.
Yeah.
We promise it's ripe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jessica Besson giving us a lesson on bananas this morning.
Right? Yeah.
The County Agent's Corner. Jessica, appreciate you being on, and we'll talk to you again, I guess, later on this month or maybe early April, okay?
Okay. Thanks, Joe.
Bye. That's Jessica Besson giving us a lesson this morning on the County Agent's Corner. 7:52, Mimi Becker is going to join the show. We'll talk with Mimi about what's going on with the Danville-Boyle County Arts Commission. It's coming up next.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for health care can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. Kentucky down Vanderbilt in their final home game of the season last night, 93-77. Vandy shot well early and stayed with the Cats, but UK managed to go up 45-40 at the half after they hit 4 straight threes. Rob Dillingham continued his magic act with back-to-back threes just before halftime. He led the Cats with 23, while Antonio Reeves added 20. Reed Shepherd had 11 of UK's 27 assists. Kentucky ends the regular season Saturday down at Tennessee on Z105. Tennessee clinched first place in the SEC last night with a 66-59 win at South Carolina. Arkansas topped LSU 94-83, and Texas A&M down Mississippi State 75-69. Tennessee's on top of the SEC at 14-3, while Alabama, Auburn, South Carolina, and Kentucky are all tied for second at 12-5. Last night in the boys' 12th region tournament, Mercer County eliminated Southwestern 55-42. Host Pulaski County blew out Boyle County 71-44. Mercer and PC beat Monday night at 6:30 on WHBN-FM. Tonight's boys' 12th region play features Danville Christian Academy taking on Wayne County around 8:15 on Z105, with DCA hoping for its first ever 12th region tournament win. In the openers, Somerset faces Trinity Christian at 6:30. The winners meet in the second game Monday night at PC. The girls' 12th region semifinals are set for tomorrow night at Lincoln County. Hometown Radio brings you the opener as Danville Christian plays Rockcastle County at 6:30 on Z105. The nightcap features West Jessamine and Southwestern. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Wake up to a treat that's more than cereal.
Beautiful morning.
Big Deals Online Store is throwing a breakfast party. Break away from your boring breakfast routine with Wendy's new breakfast burrito. Visit hometownlive.net's Big Deals Online Store and click the link to enter the Wendy's Breakfast Bash giveaway. A scrumptious mix of breakfast burritos, seasoned fries, and more are up for grabs. You could win a Wendy's breakfast party for 25 people in your office from Wendy's and Hometown Radio Network. Enter now at hometownlive.net. Click on the Big Deals Online Store link. You'll feel sunny side up all day long.
Beautiful morning.
No purchase necessary to register. Sign up once a day to increase your odds to win. Winner drawn on March 11th. It's going to be a delicious good time.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends hanging out over at Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, your local independent insurance agency. They proudly represent the Auto Owners Insurance Company. Call Mark or Chris. They'll give you a free quote. Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, 236-6686. All right, cloudy skies right now. Sunshine later. 61 is your high. 48's the low. Rain showers tomorrow. 65 on Saturday. Showers and thunderstorms likely. 62. Sunday, sunny and 50. Right now, 7:57 in the morning is the time. And New York Governor Hochul is going to deploy 1,000 National Guardsmen and state cops to carry out bag checks in New York City subways. And this is an interesting PSA that they're playing now in New York from the Department of Tourism. Check out this PSA. It's weird. Here it is.
Looking for a vacation you'll never forget? Then come to New York City, where we have more deployed National Guardsmen and state police than any other city. Yes, there's nothing quite like having a soldier guarding your every move, and in New York, we can make that happen.
I had a blast riding the subway with a soldier rifling through my belongings and another one sitting next to me watching me.
We have the finest restaurants with, you guessed it, soldiers dining alongside you.
Having a soldier take my knife and fork away from me because they're too dangerous was pretty cool, I must say.
And taking a Broadway show with soldiers at every turn.
It was kind of hard to see the stage because soldiers were standing in front of the stage, but it was pretty cool, I guess.
So visit the city that's unlike any other.
Last year we took a vacation to the Bahamas, and guess what they didn't have surrounding the beach?
You guessed it, soldiers. They didn't have any soldiers. So lame.
New York City, with more to do and more soldiers than any other city. See you soon.
There you go. Hey, coming up at the 8 o'clock hour, we have potentially have Randy Graham with Randyisms. If Randy can get in here, he'll do his segment at 8:20. James the Gardener joins us at 8:40 this morning. We'll have some gardening with James, gardening tips for you. 9 o'clock at the morning hour is going to be pretty busy. 9:10, we've got Billy Rankin from Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill on the show. And at 9:35, it is a Morning Point Thursday with Tabitha Teague and Morning Point Senior Living Center and the Lantern Alzheimer's Care Unit there at Morning Point. And excited to talk to Tabitha. Been a while since we talked, and getting an update from her on the new building that they're building there next to Morning Point. It is just absolutely flying, continues to come along. So exciting stuff there at Morning Point, and we'll talk with them at 9:35. Right now, it is just about 8 o'clock in the morning. Top Hour News coming your way. The Sort of Sports Report at 8:10. We'll cover some topics related to sports. We're halfway home at the Joe Show on this cloudy Thursday.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 8 o'clock.
NBC News Radio. I'm Michael Kastner. President Biden is expected to play up the work his administration has done on things like infrastructure during his State of the Union address tonight.
Mr. Speaker! Mr. Speaker!
A preview of the speech says the president will outline how he's making the wealthy pay their fair share. He'll also push other policies that could pick up support from both sides of the aisle, like helping veterans and fighting cancer. South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham offered Donald Trump his congratulations yesterday after the former president's near sweep of Super Tuesday. He says Trump is well positioned to win the White House. The Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in former President Trump's immunity case on April 25th. More from Mark Mayfield.
Trump is appealing a lower court's ruling that denied his claim of having immunity from criminal prosecution in his federal election interference case. Special counsel Jack Smith's case against Trump is currently paused as the high court determines whether or not a former president can face charges for actions while in office. If it's ruled that the case against Trump can move ahead, then it may mean the trial would start not long before November's presidential election. Trump became the only remaining GOP candidate Wednesday after former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley ended her campaign.
Alabama Governor Kay Ivey signed an in vitro fertilization protection bill shortly after it was officially passed on Wednesday. The new law protects providers from lawsuits and criminal prosecution for the damage or death of an embryo during IVF services. The Texas cattle industry is suffering severe damage from the wildfires in the Panhandle. Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller says at least 3,600 cows have been killed, and the number is growing. And formerly Twitter owner Elon Musk says the social media platform is considering getting rid of showing how many likes and reposts a post gets. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell says he expects interest rates to begin coming down. He just can't say exactly when.
We believe that our policy rate is likely at its peak for this tightening cycle. If the economy evolves broadly as expected, it will likely be appropriate to begin dialing back policy restraint at some point this year.
In prepared remarks on Capitol Hill, Powell said Wednesday that the Fed does not expect that it will be appropriate to reduce the target range until it has gained greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. The central bank leader added that policymakers are keeping an eye on risks that inflation poses. Investigators say Boeing still hasn't turned over important records for the probe of the January door plug blowout incident. Lisa Taylor with more.
According to the National Transportation Safety Board, investigators don't know who in the Boeing assembly line removed and reinstalled the door plug on the 737 MAX. The agency's chairwoman said so, testifying before a Senate committee on the Hill. Jennifer Homendy noted the NTSB has requested the documents numerous times over the past few months. I'm Lisa Taylor.
The 96th Annual Academy Awards show is right around the corner, and those who don't walk away with Oscar won't leave empty-handed. Celebrity guests who make their way across the red carpet will receive an Oscar bag filled with a slew of valuable items. According to Distinctive Assets, the Los Angeles-based entertainment marketing company that has put them together for years, the bags include a variety of skincare and wellness products, gourmet popcorn, designer throw pillows, and trips like an all-inclusive stay at a Swiss chalet for up to 10 guests. A 7-day holistic wellness retreat, and a 3-night stay at a private villa in St. Bart's. The 96 Academy Awards are set for this Sunday at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for health care can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
Hi, this is Jenny at the Danville Nutrition Center. At the Nutrition Center, we strive to help our customers achieve optimal health. From our high-quality collagen proteins to our immune system support vitamins, we are here to help you and your family stay healthy all throughout the year. We provide locally raised, free-range meats, eggs, and fresh milk and organic produce boxes delivered weekly. Your locally owned Danville Nutrition Center is here to serve you. Visit us at 802 South 4th Street in Danville. Danville Nutrition Center. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Good morning to you folks. Thursday, the 7th day of March, 030724 on your calendar. We do expect sunshine later. Low 60s as the high. Hope we get some good weather because Jack got his new baseball bat in and he was swinging it around the house yesterday. It's making me a nervous wreck. Like, Jack, you got to stop swinging. You can't swing your bat in the house. We'll hit baseballs tomorrow. Can't do that in the house, though. Forecast is coming your way. News is first.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
Danville police are looking for a man who led them on a chase where speeds reached triple digits. The incident happened on Tuesday just before 6 o'clock when police were called to a local hotel after a seemingly intoxicated man was denied a room. While responding, officers were told that the passenger was leaving the area in a silver Toyota Scion and was near Cattleman's Roadhouse. Police found the vehicle and attempted to perform a traffic stop with one police cruiser behind him and another positioned himself at the Cattleman's exit near the bypass. The suspect, who was identified as 30-year-old Hagen Black, did not stop, instead turning right onto the bypass, traveling in the direction towards Stanford. With Danville police and other agencies joining the pursuit, speeds reached over 100 miles per hour, with Black weaving in and out of traffic. Safety concerns led to police terminating that chase, and Lincoln and Stanford officers later found that Toyota Scion abandoned in the parking lot of the Stanford Domino's. The suspect, Hagen Black, is a Junction City native and is wanted now on several charges. If you have any information, contact Danville Police. A former Boyle County deputy sheriff has been found guilty on criminal civil rights violations and obstruction of justice. We've been following this story regarding former Deputy Tanner Abbott, who was fired from the Boyle County Sheriff's Office after complaints that he used excessive force on 4 people while he arrested them, then wrote false reports to cover up his actions. He was indicted on those charges back in October and has now been found guilty. He'll be sentenced on those charges on June the 7th in Lexington. Governor Andy Beshear has vetoed a bill that would outlaw some local housing discrimination bans. It's House Bill 18, which passed both the GOP-dominated House and Senate rather easily and would make it so local governments can't force landlords to accept federal housing assistance as a source of rent money. Beshear says that the bill would make it harder for Kentuckians to get into affordable housing. Boyle and Casey County State Rep Daniel Elliott, though, says landlords he's talked to are in support of the bill.
The issue oftentimes is that the voucher may cover 80% of rent due, doesn't cover the final 20%, and then these landlords have trouble getting that 20% because the tenant thinks that the Section 8 covers the entire amount. And so that's the issue I've heard about, at least when I've talked to landlords here.
The General Assembly now has a chance to override Beshear's veto, and it appears they would have the votes to do that if they choose to. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
We love NASCAR. Catch the races here on WHIR AM 1230.
Hello, this is Rosie the Skunk for Atmos Energy. You might think I make a bad smell. I mean, of course you do. Why wouldn't you? After all, I'm a skunk. But my stinky fragrance is nothing compared to the rotten egg smell of a gas leak, because that could be dangerous. So if you think you smell a leak or encounter other signs such as hearing a hissing or blowing sound or seeing a vapor cloud, blowing dirt, or bubbling water, do not smoke, talk on the phone, turn on or off equipment or vehicles, or do anything that could cause a spark. Leave the area immediately. Then call 911 and Atmos Energy. Atmos Energy will send a trained technician to investigate the situation. Take it from a skunk. Gas leaks just plain stink. Seriously, there's no gray area here. When dealing with gas leaks, it's black and white. Yep, that's a little skunk humor there. For more information, visit atmosenergy.com/gas safety.
Good service is just as important as quality. And at B&L Jewelers, you get both. Competitive prices and exceptional service for every customer. Find the perfect bridal and engagement rings. Or better yet, B&L Jewelers will help you custom design your rings so that you can create something unique to express your love. We carry fine jewelry and watches, including Citizens and Bulova. Or we can special order whatever you need. We also buy gold and silver. And we offer 6-month layaway with no fees. We do all our jewelry repairs in-house. So stop in today for a free jewelry cleaning and diamond inspection on the corner of Houstonville Road and Highway 150 in the Danville Manor Shopping Center. Online at bnljewelers.com. Find us on Facebook.
Love gets better with B&L Jewelers.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for health care can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends. They're over at Howard Carpenter Flooring Outlet in Harrodsburg. They specialize in discount waterproof vinyl flooring, hardwood, tile, and carpet remnant. Shop and save on all types of floor coverings. Howard Carpenter Flooring Outlet, Harrodsburg, 540 North College Street. Partly sunny, high of 61. Low tonight, 48. Tomorrow, showers are likely, cloudy. 65 is your high on Friday. It'll be Girls Regional Tournament Friday. DCA, the only girls team left. And they'll take on a Rockcastle County team that was able to top Mercer County in the first round of the region tournament there on Monday night at Lincoln County. So DCA, the only girls team that we have left. And Saturday, sunshine potentially in the afternoon, but it looks like it is going to be a mostly cloudy and rainy day. If sunshine does peek through, it's going to be late in the afternoon. High of 62. We do spring forward on Sunday. Right now, it's 8:14 in the morning, 45 degrees in Danville. Phone number is 238-9447. That's 238-WHIR. And we'd love to have you right here on the radio on The Joe Show. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Pretty cool little story from them. They went to see this new movie, Dune 2, in theaters together. And they were spotted after the movie cleaning up trash in the theater, which seems like a really nice thing for them to do. Most quote-unquote normal people wouldn't clean up other people's trash, and here's two people who could have the mindset that we're rich and famous, we don't have to do this, but they stayed up and helped clean up the theater after the movie was over. So awesome news there, and maybe the start of a new small business for them. Check it out.
I'm a busy mom who's always on the go, and keeping my house clean is pretty tough.
Never fear. Introducing the Bennifer Cleaning Service. Yes, with the Bennifer Cleaning Service, Ben and J-Lo will come to your house, and J-Lo will order Ben to clean up your home. That's our promise.
Okay, where should we start?
Well, the living room could use some vacuuming.
Vacuum that floor! Yes, ma'am.
Bennifer Cleaning Service will get the job done lickety-split.
Clean that toilet! Yes, ma'am.
This is kind of sad.
The Bennifer Cleaning Service.
Great work. Here's a tip for you.
Those tips! Yes, ma'am.
Yikes.
Call now.
There you go, the Bennifer Cleaning Service. Let's see what's going on in the Sort of Sports Report. Those headlines you may not typically hear in your every morning sports. Starting off in football, where a report from Chris Lowe dives into some of the underlying factors that went into Alabama coach Nick Saban's retirement decision. While Saban says none of these things were singularly responsible for the decision, together they all made it clear that his message, quote, wasn't resonating like it once did. First was how he saw his team handle the overtime loss to Michigan on New Year's Day. Frustrated, throwing helmets, doing that stuff, Saban says. You got to win with class, you got to lose with class. Back in Tuscaloosa, Saban met with players and was excited about the, quote, heck of a team he'd be coaching next season. He didn't say heck, though. Of them, Saban says 70 to 80% have the same two questions. What assurances did they have when it comes to playing time because they were thinking about transferring? And, quote, how much are you going to pay me? With that, Saban questioned whether this worked anymore and saw the goals and aspirations were just different. That's not to say that wanting money and playing time were bad things. Saban just thought that's never been what we're about, and that's not why we had success through the years. Kind of give credit to Nick Saban. He said, no, this thing ain't working with my old school mentality. I'm out of here. Speaking of football, Peyton Manning has been making a push to get Bill Belichick to join Omaha Productions. In a report from Andrew Marchand, several ideas are floating around, including one that would put Bill Belichick together with Nick Saban for an alternate ESPN broadcast similar to Manningcast. Independently, ESPN has also expressed interest in Belichick, though no formal discussions have been had. Reportedly, Belichick has also met with CBS and NBC, but has, quote, made it clear he doesn't want to be part of a weekly Sunday studio show. And sports sounds during the recent interview during the All-Star game, Zion Williamson says he would enter the dunk contest if he were to make the All-Star game, but he doesn't want to go and be in the dunk contest and not be in the All-Star game.
I got to do my part and make the All-Star game. If I'm in the All-Star game, I'll do the dunk contest. But if I'm not doing it.
He said he ain't doing it. All right, and one last story in golf. Jon Rahm is no longer a believer in the world golf ranking system. Just one day after the LIV Golf formally withdrew its application to have its members graced with ranking points from their tournaments, Rahm called the entire system, quote, outdated. It's not exactly a new opinion, however. Rahm points to what he said 2 years ago during the DP World Tour Championship when it wasn't a good system back then, and now, quote, the more time goes on, the more it proves to be wrong. That's what's going on in sports. We have more sports with the Big Daddy, Steve Bertram. Then we see what's gone on this date in history, March the 7th, that's made this date a date to remember.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. Kentucky down Vanderbilt in their final home game of the season last night, 93-77. Vandy shot well early and stayed with the Cats, but UK managed to go up 45-40 at the half after they hit 4 straight threes. Rob Dillingham continued his magic act with back-to-back threes just before halftime. He led the Cats with 23, while Antonio Reeves added 20. Reed Shepherd had 11 of UK's 27 assists. Kentucky ends the regular season Saturday down at Tennessee on Z105. Tennessee clinched first place in the SEC last night with a 66-59 win at South Carolina. Arkansas topped LSU 94-83, and Texas A&M down Mississippi State 75-69. Tennessee's on top of the SEC at 14-3, while Alabama, Auburn, South Carolina, and Kentucky are all tied for second at 12-5. Last night in the boys' 12th region tournament, Mercer County eliminated Southwestern 55-42. Host Pulaski County blew out Boyle County 71-44. Mercer and PC beat Monday night at 6:30 on WHBN-FM. Tonight's boys' 12th region play features Danville Christian Academy taking on Wayne County around 8:15 on Z105, with DCA hoping for its first ever 12th region tournament win. In the opener, Somerset faces Trinity Christian at 6:30. The winners meet in the second game Monday night at PC. The girls' 12th region semifinals are set for tomorrow night at Lincoln County. Hometown Radio brings you the opener as Danville Christian plays Rockcastle County at 6:30 on Z105. The nightcap features West Jessamine and Southwestern. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Hi, this is Jenny at the Danville Nutrition Center. At the Nutrition Center, we strive to help our customers achieve optimal health. From our high-quality collagen proteins to our immune system support vitamins, we are here to help you and your family stay healthy all throughout the year. We provide locally raised, free-range meats, eggs, and fresh milk and organic produce boxes delivered weekly. Your locally owned Danville Nutrition Center is here to serve you. Visit us at 802 South 4th Street in Danville. Danville Nutrition Center, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Hi folks, Mike Gay here. At Essity, we know that hygiene and health is the essence of well-being for every person at every stage of life. Essity is proud to be part of the Harrodsburg and Danville communities, providing good-paying jobs to our employees who make hand towels and tissue paper for people of all ages. If you'd like to join us, check out our website at ESSITY.com. That's Essity.com. ESSITY.com.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by
our friends at Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance. They are your local independent insurance agency. They proudly represent the Auto Owners Insurance Company. Call Mark or Chris. They'd love to give you a free quote. Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, 236-6686. All right, cloudy skies right now. Should get some sunshine later. 61 is your high. Showers likely tomorrow, 65. Saturday, 62 with rain. Springing forward Sunday with sunshine and a high of just 50. It's 8:22 in the morning right now. It's 45 degrees here in Danville. 238-WHIR. That's 238-9447 is the phone number to call in. Melton's Deli in Danville. Going to be the place we go for lunch later on this afternoon. Going to go with the Reuben as our sandwich of the day. It's number 7 on the Melton's menu. $6.99 for the Reuben. It's $8.99 for the double Reuben. Thinly sliced corned beef, chopped kraut, melted Swiss cheese, and Thousand Island dressing served on toasted rye bread. The Reuben is number 7 on the Melton's Deli menu. And you can tell them you heard them this morning on the Joe Show. You can get it at both Melton's number 1, 247 East Main. Melton's number 2, the Danville Cinemas 8 location. Hey, today is National Breakfast Cereal Day. What's your favorite breakfast cereal? National Breakfast Cereal Day. When I was I don't eat cereal much now, although in my adult years, I have become a fan of the more simpler cereals. So like when I was a kid, Fruity Pebbles was number one. And my mom would always get frustrated because when we were done eating Fruity Pebbles, we would go and put our bowls in the sink. But we wouldn't like rinse out the bowl. So there were still like Fruity Pebbles, maybe like on the side of the bowl, just a couple of little pebbles. And they would dry and stick to the sides of the bowl like literal rocks. I mean, I think they were actual pebbles. They were fruit-flavored, but they were literal pebbles, the way they stuck to the side of the bowl. And my mom would be like, can you all just not rinse your bowl out? Because I'm over here trying to scrub to use like a paint thinner to get this. She didn't actually use it. I'm exaggerating here. But you have to use something like some sort of chemicals. These things are hardening to the side of the bowl here. So I was a Fruity Pebble fan. Reese Peanut Butter Puffs were really good as well. And those two are probably my favorite. Lucky Charms as well. But as I've gotten older, I've become a Frosted Flakes guy when I eat cereal. And just to have a nice bowl of Frosted Flakes and the sugar that it leaves behind in your cold bowl of milk, and just drink it all up after you're done. So today, National Cereal Day. Today, you can actually thank a cannon from the Spanish-American War for puffed cereal. Unlike corn, wheat and rice lack a protective shell to trap steam. So to create puffed cereals, cereal makers would have to use a pressure cooking method called gun puffing to puff up rice and wheat cereal. That process was developed at the turn of the 20th century by Quaker Oats and perfected by using an army cannon converted into a pressure cooker. Cornflakes themselves were actually invented, get this, to discourage sexual desires. You heard me right. In 1894, there was a Michigan-based physician named Dr. John Harvey Kellogg. And he invented this cereal while he was developing a dietary plan for patients at the Black Creek Sanitarium. So those people who were sick and were locked in a I guess they were probably back then, locked in a sanitarium. Kellogg himself believed spicy foods increased sexual desire, so he prescribed his patients a diet of bland foods like this classic cornflake cereal to curb the sexual desires of patients and to settle things down for his patients there in the sanitarium. In 1971, General Mills debuted two monster-themed cereals. The sickeningly sweet Count Chocula and its strawberry equivalent, Frankenberry. The original monster cereals. Later cereals in this vein would include Boo Berry, Fruit Boot, and the unfortunately named Fruity Yummy Mummy. That line would extremely be profitable for General Mills. But in 1972, they faced kind of a PR disaster. The dyes that they used to make Frankenberry was often not absorbed by the digestive system. It was pink dye. Terrified parents found their children's poop stained with this garish pink and rushed them to the ER because they were scared their children were suffering from internal bleeding. The condition was called Frankenberry stool, and it was thankfully quite benign. The offending dye has long since been discontinued, and today Frankenberry, Count Chocula, and Boo Berry are only available for a few months of the year around Halloween time. Frankenberry stool almost scared the cereal off the shelves. If you're not wanting to eat sugary spoonfuls of cereal all day long or drinking soda all day, there is a fitness coach that wants to help you out with his new diet regimen.
Tired of boring diets that just don't work?
I sure am.
Then get ready for a fun diet that also just doesn't work. Introducing the Idiot's Diet.
How's it work?
It doesn't, but it's super fun. It's just basically whatever you want for breakfast, more sugary junk for lunch, and a nonsensible dinner made up of total garbage.
I love the Idiot's Diet. I eat a whole box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch for breakfast, a cherry pie for lunch, and for dinner last night, I had a chocolate cake. And I put on 25 pounds in just 3 days. I'm such an idiot.
You bet you are, because let's be honest, no diet really works anyway, so you might as well have some fun.
You can say that again. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a box of ding-dongs to eat.
Nice, the Idiot's Diet. Eat junk and gain weight today.
There you go. Let's see what's going on this date real quickly. March 7th made this date a date to remember. Starting off on this date, 1876. Hello? Alexander Graham Bell received a patent on the telephone, though at the time he called it the harmonic telegraph. On this date, 1876. On this date, 1965, sheriffs and state troopers used whips, clubs, and tear gas to disperse civil rights demonstrators marching from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. More than 50 protesters were hurt in what was known as Bloody Sunday.
Magic's got the ball. He's against Smith's body press. Magic got the kick.
Oh, they got the wrong soundbite with this one. It was on this date, 1996. I wonder if they have these sound bites confused. On this date, 1996, Magic Johnson became the second NBA player to register 10,000 career assists with a 7-assist game against the Sacramento Kings as the Lakers won 102-89. I'm going to play the sound clip. I'm interested to hear if this is the one from the Bloody Sunday one, if they got the sound clips mixed up on this website I'm using.
You must realize that this is a national issue. It's not a Selma issue. It's not an Alabama issue. This is a national issue.
Yeah, so that was the sound clip for Bloody Sunday. Here's the sound clip for Magic Johnson becoming the second player with 10,000 assists.
Magic's got the ball. He's against Smith's body press. Magic out to Campbell. 15-footer on the way. Good. Eldon Campbell from Magic. That's 5 assists, and that's it for 10,000.
Wow, 10,000 career assists. It's 8:30 in the morning. That's what's gone on this date in history. Here's news.
This is the Kentucky News Network. House Bill 18 will become law here in Kentucky after the Republican-led legislature voted to override Governor Andy Beshear's veto on Wednesday. Measure prohibits local governments from enacting ordinances that ban landlords from discriminating against renters who use federal housing vouchers.
But I find it ironic in this body that we often speak about local control, and here we are wresting local control away from the city of Louisville, which I represent, which had passed this ordinance 25-0.
Democrats, including Daniel Grossberg, whom you heard there, and Governor Beshear, argued that the new law will harm lower-income families, senior citizens, people with disabilities, and homeless vets. GOP lawmakers say the bill protects the rights of property owners. New details emerging yesterday in the murder of a Campbellsville University college student after his suspected killer appeared in court.
One piece of testimony that stood out Wednesday morning. Campbellsville Police Detective Jeremy Burton says Charles Escalera admitted to committing the crime 3 times. Josiah Kilman was found unresponsive in his dorm room in the early morning hours of February 24th. He died at the hospital from what the Taylor County coroner ruled asphyxiation by strangulation. It took officers 17 hours to find and arrest Escalera. Detective Burton says after that, Escalera admitted to being a fugitive because he, quote, killed a man. Escalera's bond remains at $2 million cash. His case now goes to a grand jury.
That's WKYT reporter Samantha Valentino. College basketball last night. Number 15 Kentucky beat Vanderbilt on senior night, 93-77. I'm Matt Reese. This is the Kentucky News Network.
Are you ready? Because Vintage NASCAR is back. Get ready for some bumper banging fun because in 2024, the Food City 500 is back. That's right, back on concrete, back to sheet metal bending chaos, back to racing the way it ought to be. Grab a spring weekend package today and save 15%. It's the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway, March 17th, 2024. It'll be St. Patrick's Day, so get ready to party. Visit bristolmotorspeedway.com for tickets and details.
What makes Whitaker Bank uniquely Kentucky? With a wide range of products and services, we are here to provide you friendly, expert service for all of your banking needs. This is Rita McIntyre. I'm the relationship banker for Boyle, Garrett, and Mercer counties. As part of your community, we are committed to building solid, long-term relationships. Call me at 859-733-4963. Let us show you what uniquely Kentucky means. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Danville police are looking for a man who led them on a chase where speeds reached triple digits. The incident happened on Tuesday just before 6 o'clock when police were called to a local hotel after a seemingly intoxicated man was denied a room. While responding, officers were told that the passenger was leaving the area in a silver Toyota Scion and was near Cattleman's Roadhouse. Police found the vehicle and attempted to perform a traffic stop with one police cruiser behind him and another positioned himself at the Cattleman's exit near the bypass. The suspect, who was identified as 30-year-old Hagan Black, did not stop, instead turning right onto the bypass, traveling in the direction towards Stanford. With Danville police and other agencies joining the pursuit, speeds reached over 100 miles per hour, with Black weaving in and out of traffic. Safety concerns led to police terminating that chase, and Lincoln and Stanford officers later found that Toyota Scion abandoned in the parking lot of the Stanford Domino's. The suspect, Hagan Black, is a Junction City native and is wanted now on several charges. If you have any information, contact Danville Police. A former Boyle County deputy sheriff has been found guilty on criminal civil rights violations and obstruction of justice. We've been following this story regarding former Deputy Tanner Abbott, who was fired from the Boyle County Sheriff's Office after complaints that he used excessive force on 4 people while he arrested them, then wrote false reports to cover up his actions. He was indicted on those charges back in October and has now been found guilty. He'll be sentenced on those charges on June the 7th in Lexington. Governor Andy Beshear has vetoed a bill that would outlaw some local housing discrimination bans. It's House Bill 18, which passed both the GOP-dominated House and Senate rather easily, and would make it so local governments can't force landlords to accept federal housing assistance as a source of rent money. Beshear says that the bill would make it harder for Kentuckians to get into affordable housing. Boyle and Casey County State Rep Daniel Elliott, though, says landlords he's talked to are in support of the bill.
The issue oftentimes is that the voucher may cover 80% of rent due, doesn't cover the final 20%, and then these landlords have trouble getting that 20% because the tenant thinks that the Section 8 covers the entire amount. And so that's the issue I've heard about, at least when I've talked to landlords here.
The General Assembly now has a chance to override Beshear's veto, and it appears they would have the votes to do that if they choose to. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for health care can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
Hi, I'm Brent Blevins, Public Health Director of the Boyle County Health Department, with an important message. The American Cancer Society estimates that nearly 3,500 deaths per year in Kentucky can be attributed to lung cancer. Most people are aware that cigarette smoking may contribute to lung cancer, but are unaware of another serious lung cancer threat, radon. In fact, the Environmental Protection Agency states that prolonged exposure to elevated levels of radon gas is the second leading cause of lung cancer. Now, you may be asking yourself a few questions like, what is an elevated level of radon? Where does radon come from? Or, how can I tell if radon is in my home? Your Boyle County Health Department stands ready to answer your questions and help determine if your family may be at risk. Simply contact our environmental staff at 859-236-2053. The health of your family depends on it.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by
the Big Deals online store, hometownlife.net. Shopping and saving on gift certificates to local businesses at big-time discounts. 50% every single day. Big Deals online store, hometownlive.net. Partly sunny, high of 61 today for 12th Region Basketball opening round action night number 2. Tomorrow, showers likely, high of 65. Saturday, showers and thunderstorms and a high of 62. It's 8:38 in the morning right now. Our big deal of the hour, Applebee's Grill and Bar $10 gift certificate is yours for $7.50 on our Big Deals website, hometownlive.net. And O'Charlie's is coming back on as well. These things sell out quick, so as soon as you get that update, O'Charlie's is on. You want to buy those up quickly because they'll be selling out quickly. 238-WHIR, that's your phone number to call in this morning. You can call right now if you want. We'll put you on the air, depending on what you want to say. But here's Wedding Planning with Pim first.
Hi, I'm Timothy Stewart Clark, and this is Wedding Planning with Pim. Go ahead. Kid yourself into thinking your wedding guest list will be a painless process. The fact is, prioritizing your friends, your parents' friends, relatives, and coworkers is never easy. And just know, people will get their feelings hurt. Some will assume their invitation is +1 when it isn't. Someone will ask to bring her 10-year-old son and his cousin visiting from out of town to your elegant 21 and over dinner and dancing reception. It's hard, but in situations like this, just say no. You have to draw the line somewhere, especially if you're on a tight budget. More people equals more invites, which equals more of everything, and the costs carry over in unlikely ways. How many favors will you have to provide? How many programs will you need? Place cards? How many slices of cake? How many tables, linens, plates, and chairs will you need to rent? Adding 8 people could require setting up a new table with an additional set of rentals, another centerpiece, and more chairs. And what about the food and the drinks? The truth is, eliminating 20 people could save you thousands of dollars. The number of people you invite is the single most important factor in determining your budget. So after he pops the question and you say yes, sit down and make out your guest list. My love note for today, doing the guest list can be the hardest part of planning a wedding.
If you only have a 401k, you're not getting the most for retirement.
Wait, what?
Add a Robinhood IRA on top, then they'll boost it by 3%.
You can do that?
And if you transfer in any retirement account, you get 3% on top of that.
Is there a limit to the match?
No limit. Robinhood Gold gets you the biggest contribution match of any IRA on the market. Sign up for Robinhood Gold at Robinhood.com/boost by April 30th. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Match on transfers subject to additional terms and conditions. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Hi, this is Caroline and Adeline at Mattresses and More next door to Ace Hardware in Danville. If you are looking for new furniture or bedding, come check out our tax refund sale. New merchandise arriving weekly and we sell off the floor. Get up to 35% off. We offer a layaway and 12 months same as cash with approved credit. Come see Aunt Nana. You'll be glad you did.
Thanks, girls. You're right. It is tax rebate time. Where are you going to spend yours? How about Mattresses and More? More than a mattress store. Located in Danville, Southland Plaza.
Hi, this is Deanna Charles at the Danville H&R Block. It's tax time again, and you already know H&R Block does taxes, but what you may not know is that H&R Block offers help in person or virtually. Plus, at the family-owned and operated Danville office, our tax pros average 23 years of experience. You can even request to work with the same tax pro every year, and your biggest refund is always guaranteed. No one offers more ways to help you with your taxes. So come see us at 216 Brent Avenue in Danville or give us a call at 859-236-3281.
Papa's Truck Stop. Start this boat!
The Bristol Express is on its way to the Food City 500 St. Patty's Day, and we got 2 seats for you. Gold Chilled Limo and Papa's Truck Stop will put that check on your bucket list. It's Bristol, baby, and there will be 2 winners every Wednesday up to the race to win. Register now at Papa's Truck Stop in Danville. Who's this week's winner?
Tina Bramer.
And
Logan Boyd.
We're drawing 2 more winners next week, and it can be you.
Thank you, Papa's Truck Stop. It's Bristol, baby.
Be prepared for what Mother Nature brings. Keep up to date with weather forecasts here every hour on WHIR.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
It's brought to you by ADA Heating and Air. Trust ADA to be there when you need them the most. ADA is always on the way. You know, you can call them. 859-519-6382. ADA Heating and Air. Partly sunny, 61 is your high today. Not a bad day. If we can keep the rain away and dry up a little bit. Tomorrow, not going to be dry. 65, rain showers, morning, afternoon, evening. Saturday, same thing. Sunday, we spring forward, we lose an hour of sleep, and it's not warm. 50 degrees is the high. Everybody's going to be grumpy Sunday. Right now, it's 8:44 in the morning. Let's see real quickly what's going on in Grub Gab, the world of food, where you and James the gardener can just eat it. All right, are we ever going to run out of new weird foods to eat? Here's the latest. 3 new food options hitting grocery store shelves. Which one of these would you want to try the most and least? First one, Cheez-It flavored ranch dressing. Hidden Valley just announced that National Ranch Day coming up on Sunday. This will hit Walmart and Kroger stores this month. They say it's something fans came up with. Quote, when we caught wind of them combining the irresistible flavors of Hidden Valley Ranch and Cheez-Its, we were blown away. We couldn't be more thrilled to make this dream collaboration a reality. How's that sound, James? Cheez-It flavored ranch, yes or no?
No.
No? Okay. Grilled cheese flavored tomato soup. If you like grilled cheese and tomato soup, would you like tomato soup flavored like grilled cheese? Check it in the soup aisle. It might be there already.
I might try that one.
Try that one out, maybe?
Yeah.
Oscar Mayer meatless hot dogs. They're called not hot dogs. You should call them not dogs.
Yeah.
And made of plant-based meat, so a little different than veggie dogs. Their parent company, Kraft Heinz, has a plant-based offshoot now called the Not Company. So they're partnered up for it. They're also selling not sausages. What about Oscar Mayer meatless hot dogs? Yay or nay, James?
Well, once upon a time I was vegetarian, and I ate the veggie burgers and the veggie dogs and different things, and I think it was pretty tasty.
Would you try out meatless hot dogs?
I would. I tried once.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if someone was having them and I was at their house.
Right.
First of all, why are you having hot dogs at your house?
Right.
If that's what we're having, whatever.
Right.
But I'm not going to go intentionally buy them. Because if I'm eating a hot dog, I understand it's gross.
Right.
What meat am I eating? I don't know. But it's the understood risk of eating hot dogs.
Right.
You know that what you're eating, it could be meat, it could not be, it could be from any part of the animal.
Right.
So I don't need it to be healthy. I understand the risk going in.
Right.
There you go. Story number 2, James. Hardee's introducing lunch wraps with the debut of new breakfast wraps, which started actually yesterday. Hardee's all-new breakfast wraps, sausage, egg, and gravy, bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese, and egg and cheese. 2 for $5 breakfast wrap deals going on right now at Hardee's.
I could eat
And
that.
Pizza Hut is running a new online promotion, online only, where anyone can get a free large one-topping pizza on their next order when they make a qualifying purchase of $7.99 or more through the Pizza Hut mobile app. $7.99 minimum delivery or carry-out deal, and you'll receive a coupon for a free large one-topping pizza in your app inbox within 48 hours. Not bad at all.
Not bad.
Buy one, get one for a limited time at Pizza Hut. Hardee's with their breakfast wraps and all kinds of new food with Cheez-It flavored ranch dressing, grilled cheese flavored tomato soup, Oscar Mayer meatless hot dogs. The world of food. Grub Gab. You can just eat it, James.
Yes, sir.
And now, for the next few minutes, the man with the jolly green thumb and the big straw hat is going to tell us where it's at. Gardening with James, that's the name. Growing good food, that's our aim. Working in our garden every day. Well, we might not be all that pretty, but we don't mind getting all dirty and gritty. Growing our food the natural way. Yes, we're gardening with James, the natural way. Let's dig it, James.
James the gardener.
Yes, sir.
What's going on with James in the garden on a cloudy Thursday?
Yeah, well, it rained yesterday, and I had to, wait until it stopped raining to get some stuff done. And
right.
And I guess when I get there tomorrow, it'll probably be raining again.
Mm-hmm.
Is that about right?
Tomorrow, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
it's going to be raining on you, James.
It's going to kind of stall me out just a little bit, but it's a Friday, so I'll find other things to do. I've been, starting seeds for different plants and things like that, trying to get some stuff growing and going over, what needs to be done, trying to prepare for the flowers to come in, probably in the next month or two.
Mm-hmm.
So this way we can go ahead and put some really nice color in there again this year. So it's, like I say, just staying busy, trying to get things together.
Gardening with James, Tuesdays and Thursdays, here on the Joe Show at this time.
Yes, sir.
All right, James, here's a fun story to talk about.
Okay.
A lot of young people, so I would say probably like teenagers on down, are finding out this now, and they're feeling cheated. Jalapenos are less spicy than they used to be.
Really?
Here's the story.
Okay.
Your grandparents' jalapenos had a lot more kick to them. Then around 40 years ago, farmers intentionally started growing them to be bigger and less hot. Most of the ones that we grow now are used in things like pre-made salsa and flavored chips.
Right.
And food companies wanted them to be mild so they'd be more consistent. They're also easier to eat for most people.
Yeah.
Because they're not as hot.
Right.
Right, like, there is nothing more divisive a topic when it comes to food than spicy versus non-spicy.
Right.
Because you can either handle spicy food or your night is ruined, and I'm not going to eat any of this, and I'm throwing a hissy fit because ranch dressing's too spicy for me.
Okay.
Right? You're on one side of the aisle or the other.
Right.
I love spicy food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I've got friends who I have literally seen eat honey barbecue wings and sweat.
Really?
It's honey barbecue.
Wow.
There's no spice to it whatsoever. I know people who mayonnaise is too spicy for them.
Right. Wow.
Joking, kind of, but at the same time, if honey barbecue is too spicy for you, then mayonnaise probably is too.
Wow.
Right? So there is nothing more divisive when it comes to food than spicy or not spicy. Because people who can't tolerate it, their night's ruined because they can't eat any of the food.
Right.
And they sit there with a disgusted look on their face as people who can tolerate spicy food are tearing up the dish because they love
wearing it out, right?
Yeah.
No,
Hotter jalapenos do still exist.
Yes, they do.
But they tend to come from smaller farms. You want to taste a spicy jalapeno? Let me grow you some.
Yeah, I can.
Because
I can take care of that.
vividly remember a couple of years ago, we had our garden in our backyard, raised bed gardens, and growing jalapenos, and picking them and taking them inside and cutting them. And peppers are really easy to grow, so you have way too many of them, and you don't know what to do with them all.
Yeah.
And I remember cutting them up real fine, and we were having taco night.
Okay.
And I remember eating the jalapenos, and they were super spicy, and thinking, what's up with these jalapenos?
Right.
Why are they more spicy than the ones that you buy in stores? And I didn't put two and two together. I just thought homegrown jalapeno, it's hotter. Well, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
The ones that they're mass producing and putting in products in stores are not meant to be spicy because a lot of people can't tolerate spicy foods.
Right.
Right? People who can tolerate spicy foods, they can go across the aisle.
Yeah.
Because they don't mind if it's not spicy, but they also don't mind if it's spicy.
Right.
People who can't go across the aisle. It's either not spicy or it's not edible. It's one or the other.
Well, I usually look to find out if it's spicy, and if it's not, sometime I'll buy that. Just check the difference. But when it comes to jalapenos, I grew them for years, and
they were probably spicy, weren't they?
Yeah, they would light you up.
Yeah.
Right?
So the local gardens, the small garden guys like James or like even my backyard garden, our jalapenos are going to be spicy.
Yeah.
Because we're not growing this variety that's mass produced to go in stores so that people that can't handle spicy foods can tolerate the salsa that it's going in.
Exactly.
Didn't matter how spicy ours are because it's going from farm to table from our backyard to our kitchen table.
Yep, you're right.
If food companies wanted to make things spicier, what they do is they add extract, the same stuff used in pepper spray.
Yeah.
So there you go. Right. Yes, jalapenos are what many people would consider to be bland now.
Yeah.
And spicy fans aren't happy about it.
Yeah.
There you go, James.
Give it to me.
Give James the spicy stuff.
That's right.
All right, it's 8:53 in the morning. James the Gardener on here with us. James, we're going to see what's going on this date and rock and roll, pop, and R&B. How's that sound?
Let's do it.
You're going to hang out with us here for this next segment? All right, good.
I'll be here.
Coming up right after this.
Hey, it's me, Gus the Gopher for Atmos Energy. Being a gopher, I like to dig. That's what us gophers were born to do, along with eating plants, taunting groundskeepers, and listening to bluegrass music. And I especially enjoy digging around the yard. Occasionally, I bump into a utility line and I get a headache. Ouch! After all, they're hard to miss since they can be buried anywhere. But if you hit one with your shovel, backhoe, or ditch digger, you could cause a gas leak, disrupt service, or worse. Makes me shake in my paws just thinking about it. You can avoid all of this by calling 811 at least 3 business days before you or someone else digs in your yard to have those underground utility-owned lines marked. Calling 811 will help protect your property, and more importantly, you. It's free, and it's the law. You dig what I'm saying? For more on safe digging, visit atmosenergy.com/811.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. Kentucky downed Vanderbilt in their final home game of the season last night, 93-77. Vandy shot well early and stayed with the Cats, but UK managed to go up 45-40 at the half after they hit 4 straight threes. Rob Dillingham continued his magic act with back-to-back threes just before halftime. He led the Cats with 23, while Antonio Reeves added 20. Reed Shepherd had 11 of UK's 27 assists. Kentucky ends the regular season Saturday down at Tennessee on Z105. Tennessee clinched first place in the SEC last night with a 66-59 win at South Carolina. Arkansas topped LSU 94-83, and Texas A&M down Mississippi State 75-69. Tennessee's on top of the SEC at 14-3, while Alabama, Auburn, South Carolina, and Kentucky are all tied for second at 12-5. Last night in the boys' 12th region tournament, Mercer County eliminated Southwestern 55-42. Host Pulaski County blew out Boyle County 71-44. Mercer and PC beat Monday night at 6:30 on WHBN-FM. Tonight's boys' 12th region play features Danville Christian Academy taking on Wayne County around 8:15 on Z105, with DCA hoping for its first ever 12th region tournament win. In the opener, Somerset faces Trinity Christian at 6:30. The winners meet in the second game Monday night at PC. The girls' 12th region semifinals are set for tomorrow night at Lincoln County. Hometown Radio brings you the opener as Danville Christian plays Rockcastle County at 6:30 on Z105. The nightcap features West Jessamine and Southwestern. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Did you know that WHIR AM 1230 is the talk of the town? We're not spreading gossip. We're just letting you know where the best talk radio is found all day, every day. Mornings begin with Danville's own Joe Mathis and The Joe Show.
Hey, this is Joe Mathis.
Wake up to what you missed. News, weather, sports, and local guests. Followed by Kentucky Sports Radio with Matt Jones.
Welcome, everyone. Kentucky Sports Radio. I'm Matt Jones.
Then, the man who has an opinion about everything, Tomas Mauricio.
I'm Tomas Mauricio. I invite
you to tune in. Starting at noon with Advocates for America. Then at 3, it's the best-known name in news, Sean Hannity.
Join me, Sean Hannity, on WHIR.
Then Joe Pag starts off weekday evenings at 6 with his take on the day's news, mixed with his fun parody songs about the news.
Hey, it's Joe Pag on WHIR.
Afterwards, at 10, it's the unique world of John B. Wells on WHIR with his Caravan to Midnight show.
This is John B. Wells, WHIR, AM 1230 and FM 103.9.
These guys have a lot to say, and they'll be glad to have you join them every weekday on your home for news, talk, sports. AM 1230, WHIR, the talk of the town.
Lawson's Tractor 2, your local Kubota equipment dealer, wants to help you deliver a job done right. That's why they want you to know that the new Kubota inventory is arriving daily. You have work to do. They have the reliability and durability and versatile lineup to help you do it all. Visit Lawson's Tractor 2 today for all your equipment needs. Lawson's Tractor 2, 4 miles south of Danville on Highway 127, open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. Lawson's Tractor 2.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
All right, brought to you by Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision and auto body repair. Head to the mechanics at Danville Auto Body Shop. Cloudy skies right now. Sunshine 61 is the high later today. Tomorrow, showers likely. High of 65. Saturday, showers and possibly a thunderstorm. A high of 62. We got to be quick about this. It was on this date, rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history in the year 1946. Matthew Fisher was born.
Love this song.
Yeah, from Procol Harum. This is their 1967 number 5 single on the U.S. charts. A Wider Shade of Pale, one of the few singles to have sold over 10 million copies.
Yes.
Procol Harum's Matthew Fisher having a birthday today, born on this date, 1946.
The crowd called out for more.
And it was on this day, rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history, 1952. Happy birthday today to Ernie Isley.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and
The 1959 single brought them to prominence, a single called Shout. And the 1962 hit Twist and Shout. They had a twist to it.
Yeah.
Shout, the Twist and Shout. Ernie Isley, born on this day, 1952. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Here's Top Hour News. Coming up on the Joe Show.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 9 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Biden will deliver his State of the Union address tonight, where he'll play up the work his administration has done on things like infrastructure. At the White House, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre this morning.
You're going to hear the president address how our democracy is under attack, how our freedoms are certainly under attack. He's going to speak to what we've been seeing across the country as it relates to women's health care.
A preview of the speech says the president will also outline how he's making the wealthy pay their fair share and push other policies that could pick up support from both sides of the aisle, like helping veterans and fighting cancer. South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham applauds Donald Trump for what he calls an amazing political comeback. Senator Graham offered Trump his congratulations yesterday after Trump's near sweep of Super Tuesday. His wins led Nikki Haley to drop out of the race. Graham says she has a lot to be proud of for creating many firsts in her quest for the nomination, and she acquired a significant following. Alabama lawmakers are trying to protect in vitro fertilization patients despite a recent court ruling. Certain IVF functions were shut down in the state last month when the Alabama Supreme Court ruled that frozen embryos should be considered human beings. Republican Governor Kay Ivey signed a bill Wednesday that protects providers and patients from legal liability. Federal and local officials are laying out security plans ahead of the 2024 Democratic National Convention in Chicago this summer. In Chicago, Perry Williams.
Mayor Johnson says the convention has been designated a national special security event.
Together, we are ready to host a safe and secure convention and welcome tens of thousands of visitors to the greatest city in the world.
Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling says officers are receiving specialized training and will handle all security outside of the event.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
The TSA is testing out new self-service screening technology at the Las Vegas airport. Tom Costello with more.
In Las Vegas, the TSA is now testing a self-checkpoint only for pre-check flyers who know the routine by heart.
Done this now, I would say this is faster.
Faster?
Yeah.
Is this the future?
Could be.
The new setup has fewer TSA agents at the security checkpoint and more streamlined operations. Passengers are greeted with a virtual agent who assists them by answering questions, and officers can monitor X-ray machines remotely. There's also automated conveyors for any luggage that needs more screening. A new poll shows a majority of Americans agree with each other on the legality of abortion. More from Rebecca Hughes.
When it comes to abortions, 86% of Americans support a woman's choice to have an abortion as part of a pregnancy-related care, according to a new KFF poll, including nearly 8 in 10 Republicans, despite claims from Democratic candidates. Results also show Democrats overwhelmingly view abortion as an issue of individual rights and freedom, as well as a health care issue. Meanwhile, Republicans are likely to view the medical procedure that causes death to an embryo or fetus as a moral issue, and more than half of Republicans also say it's a religious issue. Despite heavy media coverage and dramatic campaign ads, only 12% of voters say abortion is the most important issue in their 2024 vote.
Drake Bell says he was sexually abused as a child actor working for Nickelodeon. The now 37-year-old is set to appear in an upcoming investigation discovery series called Quiet on Set: The Dark Side of Kids TV. The 4-part program will air beginning March 17th. In a preview clip, the Drake and Josh star appears to share for the first time the story of his alleged abuse by his former dialogue coach. Brian Peck was convicted in 2004. And before the opening bell, stock futures are ticking higher. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
This is now going to be about simple, fundamental, philosophical differences that are deep and that are profound. A choice between a thriving economy with low taxes, less burdensome regulation, low inflation, low interest rates, versus Biden's policies that have led to 60% of our fellow Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Been there, done that in my 20s. Not the best place to live. I wouldn't want to go back. If I could, I'd survive. Even if I had to work at McDonald's at night, I'd do what I'd have to do. Or drive for Uber. I wouldn't really care. If I had to do it, I'd do whatever I needed to do to support my family. That's what's at stake here.
Check out the Sean Hannity Radio Show later today, right here.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Free.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for health care can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Good morning to you folks. Thursday. It's the 7th day of this month of March, 2024. We're going to Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill to see what's going on there at Shaker Village after a quick look at news. This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Danville police are looking for a man who led them on a chase where speeds reached triple digits. The incident happened on Tuesday just before 6 o'clock when police were called to a local hotel after a seemingly intoxicated man was denied a room. While responding, officers were told that the passenger was leaving the area in a silver Toyota Scion and was near Cattleman's Roadhouse. Police found the vehicle and attempted to perform a traffic stop with one police cruiser behind him and another positioned himself at the Cattleman's exit near the bypass. The suspect, who was identified as 30-year-old Hagen Black, did not stop, instead turning right onto the bypass, traveling in the direction towards Stanford. With Danville police and other agencies joining the pursuit, speeds reached over 100 miles per hour, with Black weaving in and out of traffic. Safety concerns led to police terminating that chase, and Lincoln and Stanford officers later found that Toyota Scion abandoned in the parking lot of the Stanford Domino's. The suspect, Hagen Black, is a Junction City native and is wanted now on several charges. If you have any information, contact Danville Police. A former Boyle County deputy sheriff has been found guilty on criminal civil rights violations and obstruction of justice. We've been following this story regarding former Deputy Tanner Abbott, who was fired from the Boyle County Sheriff's Office after complaints that he used excessive force on 4 people while he arrested them, then wrote false reports to cover up his actions. He was indicted on those charges back in October and has now been found guilty. He'll be sentenced on those charges on June the 7th in Lexington. Governor Andy Beshear has vetoed a bill that would outlaw some local housing discrimination bans. It's House Bill 18, which passed both the GOP-dominated House and Senate rather easily, and would make it so local governments can't force landlords to accept federal housing assistance as a source of rent money. Beshear says that the bill would make it harder for Kentuckians to get into affordable housing. Boyle and Casey County State Rep Daniel Elliott, though, says landlords he's talked to are in support of the bill.
The issue oftentimes is that the voucher may cover 80% of rent due, doesn't cover the final 20%, and then these landlords have trouble getting that 20% because the tenant thinks that the Section 8 covers the entire amount. And so that's the issue I've heard about, at least when I've talked to landlords here.
The General Assembly now has a chance to override Beshear's veto, and it appears they would have the votes to do that if they choose to. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends over at ADA Heating and Air. Trust ADA to be there when you need them the most. ADA is on the way. Call them 859-519-6382. ADA Heating and Air. Partly sunny, a high today 61. Low tonight of 48 and rain showers this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we spring forward. 50's the high and a great start to next week. with sunshine Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's 9:12 in the morning. 238-9447 is the phone number to call in. We'd love to have you on the show. Real quickly, birthdays on this March the 7th. Tabitha Blackwell, Jenny McClure, Melissa Baxter, Jason Bryant, Elizabeth Bibb, Jill Irwin, Becca Sims, and Emery Lee. And a great place to spend your birthday would be at Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill. Good morning. We are talking with Billy Rankin from Shaker Village. Billy, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Joe. How are you doing this morning?
Doing good, Billy. Appreciate you calling in. We talk with Shaker Village every first Thursday of the month. That happens to be today. And excited, Billy, as the hours and days begin to get longer and the weather begins to get warmer. The activities are beginning to open up at Shaker Village with things going on again every single weekend this weekend and this month. And it starts off on Friday with the Reading Retreat. It is an all-weekend-long retreat, the Reading Retreat. This has already been closed, sold out, but tell us, what is the Reading Retreat, Billy?
Well, the Reading Retreat has become one of our most popular weekend packages where you can come and stay at the inn. Beautiful 13 buildings, 72 hotel rooms here at Shaker Village. And while staying at the inn for the Reading Retreat weekend, you're going to be discussing a book written by a former Kentucky poet laureate, Crystal Wilkinson. And she has a new book that's come out. It's getting a lot of praise on New York Times bestseller list. It's called Praise Song for the Kitchen Ghosts. That's going to be discussed that weekend, coming up this weekend. Crystal's actually going to be joining the participants for dinner and a discussion about the book. And everyone who comes out is going to have a lot of time that weekend to enjoy the peacefulness of Shaker Village while reading and journaling and exploring their love of books.
Yeah, so for people who are involved and took advantage of this package, they get a Friday and Saturday night stay at Shaker Village. They get a copy of the book, Praise Song for the Kitchen Ghosts. They get an in-room gift of a journal and a pen and exclusive programs to immerse yourself in this yet to be released book, upcoming book, and then breakfast.
Just come out.
Just came out. Okay. Breakfast on both Saturday and Sunday, and then again, the author are going to be joining attendees for a private dinner on Saturday night. So this is you talk about kind of an all-inclusive thing, Billy. This is it, the Reading Retreat.
And Joe, we only do 5 or 6 packages a year. We've got others coming up that still have space, couples retreats, women's weekends retreats, holiday packages that we offer. So if you missed out on this one, check us out online. We've got some more coming up this year.
Yeah, we're right here in the middle of the Lenten season as well, and you all celebrate that Friday nights with the fish fry, Billy.
We have the best fish in town, Joe. I've been enjoying it myself. We've got this delicious panko-crusted Atlantic cod. Come on out. We've got our homemade hush puppies right here on the trustees table every Friday night. $18 for adults, $11 for ages 6 to 12. And it is a filling meal. You're not going to go home hungry.
Yeah, Fish Friday. So you get the fish, you get house-made hush puppies, French fries, and the Shaker Village coleslaw. Again, $18 for adults, $11 for ages 6 to 12. You all do walk-ins for this, right? But it's highly recommended to make reservations?
Always a good idea to make reservations. Those are busy nights here at the Village, and we want to make sure everybody gets a seat.
Yeah, that next day, Saturday, March the 9th, another event that's sold out, the Cross-Stitch Shaker Samplers.
Yeah, we've been doing some really interesting programs hosted by Becky Souls, who's the curator of our collection here at Shaker Village. She's been exploring the 5,000 artifacts that we have related to the Shakers in new and different ways. This is a hands-on activity where the participants are going to be working on their own sampler. A sampler was a method of practicing cross-stitch. Young Shaker sisters would practice stitching in the alphabet or numbers or their name onto it. We've got a collection of these samplers here at Pleasant Hill. You get to work on your own and also view some of these rarely seen artifacts while you're taking part in the program.
Yeah, the picture that you have attached to this, Billy, must be one of the original samples that you will have there at Shaker Village, and it's got the alphabet on it. It's got the numbers 1 through 19, and then it's got the young lady who I guess who stitched this, and it says
that's right. Mary Ann Downing did
Mary Ann
that
Downing,
in
yes.
1843. and finished it in 1844. So these can take some time too.
Yes, well,
this is a large one. You won't complete it in this program. You'll be taking it home and continuing to work on it.
It's got her biography on it. So it says, Mary Ann Downing, born in Lexington County of Fayette and state of Kentucky, February 28, 1835, and came to Pleasant Hill September the 19th, 1840. So she was 5 years old when she came to Pleasant Hill. She started this cross-stitch sample when
she was 8.
Yes, when she was 8, December the 6th, 1843, finished it on February 16th, 1844, just 12 days before her 9th birthday. And she did a really good job with this.
Did a beautiful job. And these are some of the artifacts that really tell us a lot about the makers.
Yeah.
You can read into them biographies, as you were just learning there. And there's also little bits of pieces of information of other things that they decided to add on, usually toward the bottom of the samplers once they had completed the process of practicing at the top.
Do we know any more about the story of Mary Ann Downing, the young girl who did that cross-stitching?
I believe that our curator is well-versed in the story of Mary Ann Downing, but I unfortunately am not.
You're not? Okay.
I'm going to have to take this program.
Yeah, there you go. So that's a cool little kind of history behind the cross-stitch shaker samplers, and that event is sold out on Saturday. The next weekend is the 15th, 16th, and 17th. On the 15th, again, you have the Fish Fridays. Make your RSVPs for that right now. The 16th, a big day, Billy. It's a volunteer work day because we got the spring season coming up. There's going to be a lot of outdoor activities and events. We know you're going to have the Easter egg hunt coming up as well. It just takes a village is the name of it. It takes a village, the name of the program, because it does take a lot of people to get Shaker Village up and running and getting it looking beautiful. How can people do this, Billy, and what do they need to do to take advantage of the volunteer work day?
Well, Joe, it certainly does take a lot of effort to care for Kentucky's largest national historic landmark. For this volunteer work day, anyone who would like to come out and contribute with their volunteer time can sign up online at our event calendar, shakervillageky.org. Volunteer projects begin at 9 o'clock in the morning. They end at 4 o'clock. We're providing continental breakfast and lunch. If you'd like to stay the night, we'll provide a 20% discount on a room at Shaker Village. So it's a great chance to come out. And we do about 3 hours of volunteering in the morning, about 3 hours in the afternoon. This year, we're going to be putting the finishing touches on the children's playscape that we've been installing here at Shaker Village. We have the grand opening of that on April 6th. We'll be doing some cleanup and finishing work around it. We'll be painting white fences around the farm area and a couple other areas around the village, and building bird boxes. They're going to be going out in the nature preserve.
Cool.
So some fun projects to come and join in, and also a good weekend to enjoy the village.
A couple questions about this, Billy. First of all, is this something that maybe a high school student looking for volunteer hours for a scholarship, is that something that they could use toward that?
Absolutely,
Okay.
and we encourage ages 15 and up. Of course, if you're a minor, come out with an adult, but otherwise, please come out and participate. It's a great chance to get those hours.
And then, secondly, Billy, the children's playscape. April,
That's right.
It's opening up. What exactly is the children's playscape? Can you give us some details on what this is at Shaker Village?
Yeah, this was one of the major projects for our next 10 years, one of the first ones we're completing. We have 34 projects planned at Shaker Village as part of our long-range plan. And this children's playscape is really a contributor to us being a very family-friendly place where people, children and adults, can be hands-on, explore, be out in nature. We decided to go with the playscape because with earthen mounds, tunnels, sand pits, rope swings, sticks, rocks, piles to climb on, stumps, these are the kinds of elements that children would have played in when they grew up here, when the Shakers were here at Pleasant Hill. And it's really true to our mission to continue that, share that legacy of the Kentucky Shakers, to keep people outdoors and exploring and learning. And studies have shown that children will spend hours in a natural playscape, engaged and involved and having agency with their imagination, rather than 15 to 30 minutes that they might spend in a typical playground. So we are very intrigued by that, and we've built one in right behind the vegetable garden near the restaurant.
That's awesome.
So children and families can enjoy it easily.
So when will that open?
Well, it is going to be on April 6th. It is technically open now, but we're still finishing some elements.
Okay.
It's safe to come play on it now. and we'll have the dedication on April 6th at 11 a.m. that Saturday.
So does that just come along with coming to Shaker Village, or does it have an extra cost, or what?
No extra cost at all. If you're coming to hike around the property, there's no cost to do that. You can walk over and play in the playscape for free.
Awesome.
If you've paid admission, you've, of course, got that included as well.
There you go. Billy Rankin with Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill joins us here on The Joe Show. We've covered the 8th, 9th, and 10th, the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th. But some of the biggest weekends of the year are coming up, especially the massive Easter egg hunt. That's going to be happening on March the 30th. And we're going to be talking with Billy about that coming up right after this quick break. Billy Rankin of Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill. What a fun place to be at Shaker Village. Finishing up our conversation with Billy right after this. It is 9:22 in the morning and 46 degrees.
Wake up to a treat that's more than cereal.
Beautiful morning.
Big Deals Online Store is throwing a breakfast party. Break away from your boring breakfast routine with Wendy's new breakfast burrito. Visit hometownlive.net's Big Deals Online Store and click the link to enter the Wendy's Breakfast Bash giveaway. A scrumptious mix of breakfast burritos, seasoned fries, and more are up for grabs. You could win a Wendy's breakfast party for 25 people in your office from Wendy's and Hometown Radio Network. Enter now at hometownlive.net. Click on the Big Deals Online Store link. You'll feel sunny side up all day long.
Beautiful morning.
No purchase necessary to register. Sign up once a day to increase your odds to win. Winner drawn on March 11th. It's going to be a delicious good time.
Now available at Farmers National Bank, free checking and a free gift. Simply open a new Farmers National Bank personal or business checking account and receive a free gift. Minimum required deposit is only $50. We make the process fast and easy. Call 866-888-0220 or stop into one of our 12 convenient locations. Farmers National Bank, with locations in Danville, Bergen, Harrodsburg, Junction City, Lancaster, Perryville, Stanford, Liberty, and Middleburg. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Authentic Mexican grocery store, cakes, fresh produce, piñatas, boots, belts, and more. La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. Family owned and operated, offering the best Mexican products created. La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. And to make your tummy smile, Taco Yumas, the on-site food truck that's also available for catering and events. So where do you go for authentic Mexican product? La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. In Danville on Houstonville Road.
Lawson's Tractor 2, your local Kubota equipment dealer, wants to help you deliver a job done right. That's why they want you to know that the new Kubota inventory is arriving daily. You have work to do. They have the reliability and durability and versatile lineup to help you do it all. Visit Lawson's Tractor 2 today for all your equipment needs. Lawson's Tractor 2, 4 miles south of Danville on Highway 127, open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. Lawson's Tractor 2.
Planning a wedding? Paying for a wedding? Attending a wedding? Hi, this is Pim Pfister Clark with Wedding Planning with Pim, inviting you to join us Monday through Friday after the 8:30 morning news on WHIR AM 1230. I'll give you sound wedding planning advice and money-saving tips, information you need, and you'll get it all right here at your favorite radio station, WHIR AM 1230.
Going out of town or anywhere in the world? Stay in touch with WHIR on the internet at hometownlive.net. Powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill. Talking with Billy Rankin. And a lot of great activities going on this entire month. We've made it to the second to last weekend of the month, which is the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. 23rd, Billy, what a busy day for you all. Another sold-out event, the Basic Chair Taping Workshop, as the people here will work on making a footstool.
Yeah, Joe, if you've ever sat in a shaker chair, you've probably sat on a material called listing. It's a type of fabric that's woven in the chair frame to make the seat of the chair. In this program, we're going to be learning how that chair taping was done by actually doing it on a footstool. which is a little bit easier to perform that on, less in the way to hinder your flow of the weaving process. This has been very popular. We do it a couple times a year, and you leave this as a participant with a beautiful stool that you've been able to make on your own.
Awesome stuff. And speaking of the things that Shakers could make and would make and we're great at, you all have a behind the scenes at the museum workshop that day as well. Boxes. Shakers are known for making those iconic oval boxes. You mentioned the chairs, the furniture, and the fashion as well. And those are the three features and focuses of the behind the scenes that Saturday, March the 23rd at Shaker Village.
So, Joe, each of those will take its own Saturday to be a highlight. And this one for Saturday, March 23rd, is about the boxes that the Shakers would make. Across all Shaker Villages, boxes were a major commodity. They made them for themselves, but once you've set up all of the equipment to be able to produce these beautiful oval boxes made out of maple and pine wood, well, you might as well produce more than you need and sell that extra. And that's what the Shakers did. Pleasant Hill was not known for its oval boxes, so we have an extremely rare collection of Pleasant Hill-made boxes. They didn't produce as many of the other villages did. It's going to be a rare look at those pieces in our collection.
That same day, March the 23rd, people got to get on this quickly because these events don't usually have, this close to the event, tickets still available. These things sell out quickly, and I'm sure you probably only have a few left anyway, Billy. The Fresh Food Adventure. You got one coming up Saturday, March 23rd, a little taste of the French Quarter.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. This is a few tickets left because we just recently added it onto the calendar.
Okay.
Chef Amber decided she wanted to have a little fun with this event. So if you like oyster, shrimp, crab, crawfish, this is the event for you. Come on out for a taste of New Orleans, taste of the French Quarter. It did create a little debate here internally, Joe, whether we are supposed to call them crawfish, crayfish, or crawdaddies. I don't know if you have a preference, but they all taste good.
I would say crawfish is the way that I would say it. Now you know it's good food, Billy, when I can't pronounce them. So
that's when it's a
you
delicacy.
know it's good. There's some different courses with this. The first course is oysters Bienville. That's my Danville accent coming out. I don't know how to say this. Is it oysters?
Now, Joe, don't put me on the spot here. Chef Amber is way too classy in her menu for me to pronounce on the radio.
You'd pronounce it probably the same way I would. Second course, blue crab and shrimp bisque, andouille corn relish, tarragon creme fraiche. Is the second.
I really like the accent, too. That's how you pronounce it.
The entree, crawfish étouffée, and the dessert is king cake. This is $89 a person for this. There are tickets still available. Like Billy said, this was added late to the menu, which is why they still have tickets to this. That's Saturday, March the 23rd. Get your tickets now for that. And then, Billy, the night hike. These things always go fast as well. The Spring Equinox night hike on Saturday, March the 23rd from 8 until 9:30 that evening.
Now, Joe, if you're looking for the perfect date night, maybe you missed your chance last month with Valentine's, and you're looking for something to get out and do that's going to be a great experience. Get those tickets to the Taste of the French Quarter. You have your crawfish étouffée, and then you head on out for a night looking at the stars and learning about the spring equinox. It'd be a perfect evening to enjoy Pleasant Hill.
Yeah, that's a fun night of activities that Saturday, March 23rd. And then, Billy, if you were looking for a date night, the husband and wife, the girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be, can get together that night. And then the next Saturday, bring the kids and grandkids because the Easter egg hunt is back on Saturday, March the 30th at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Bring the whole family. Easter's early this year. Want to make those preparations. Get out to the Easter egg hunts. These tickets are flying out right now.
Yeah.
We do separate egg hunt times. We divide up the fields by age group so you don't have to worry about your little ones being around kids that are too large for them. We're going to have that all spread out. We have got this down to an egg hunt science, Joe, and it's such a fun day to come out, collect those eggs, get your candy. We'll have food trucks available. The Shaker Village Bar will be open for adults.
Right.
We're going to have lots of baby animals. I think so far we've already had about 20 or 30 new baby lambs born here to the farm. So come check out all the spring babies on the farm, lots of fun activities, hay wagon rides, pony rides. Good time for the whole family to come out and enjoy Easter. And that's actually going to be the very end of the run for a special exhibit we have March only. It's open right now. It's a Smithsonian traveling exhibit called Spark. Wow. That's available for the month of March while you're out for Easter egg hunt. You'll have to come check out this exhibit about innovation in rural communities at the same day.
Okay, there you go. So all month long, that Smithsonian Institute has got the Spark set up, the Spark exhibit set up all through the month of March. Let me ask you this, Billy. Halloween, trick or treat, you buy a lot of candy involved.
Right.
Which one involves more candy? The Easter egg hunt
Halloween.
Or trick or treat?
Halloween is much more candy. Yeah. You know, Easter egg hunt, you got to find an egg. You got to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, you just have to ask
That's
nicely.
true. You just got to walk. You just got to walk through and ask nicely and get the candy. There's really not a whole lot of work involved in that.
Now, Joe, my favorite thing for me personally about the Easter egg hunts, it's not just the big egg hunts on the fields, but I get to do something every year that I'm privileged to do, and that's I get to hide 10 golden eggs around the historic village.
Okay.
These are in outdoor locations. They're well hidden. You never know where they might be, in a pipe, up in a tree, somewhere. But if you're one of the families that find one of these 10 eggs, you get a prize pack, and we're going to draw 1 out of 10 to get a year annual pass here at Shaker Village. So if you've done your egg hunt time and you're heading around the village, keep an eye open. If you find one of these large golden eggs, you're going to win great prizes for it.
This is like the golden ticket in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
We might have taken a little liberty in stealing how the golden ticket looks on the inside of the egg when you open it up. We might have been influenced by Roald Dahl just a little bit there.
Yeah, I actually saw something, Billy, that was interesting. Someone on social media said one of the all-time underrated good guys in movie history is that store attendant that is right there in front of Charlie when Charlie opens up the chocolate bar and finds the golden ticket in it, because he could have tried to take it from the kid or swindled him out of it, and he said, take the ticket and run home as fast as you can. One of the all-time underrated good guys in movie history, that store attendant.
You know, I'm going to counter that with one of the all-time underrated bad guys in movie history in that same movie, Grandpa Joe.
Yes?
He was just laying in that bed that whole time, and as soon as he knew he could go to a chocolate factory, he got up and danced around.
Oh, he felt the spirit move, didn't he?
Not sure about Grandpa Joe. He's what we'd call a winter shaker. He wanted to come here and have a good time in the winter eating all the food, but when it's time to work...
Suddenly he's back in bed again.
Right.
It's all month long, ShakerVillageKY.org, the Easter egg hunt. If you could just be waltzing around Shaker Village that day, and you may just find a golden egg, just out just on a hike or just enjoying the day, and then there's your chance to potentially win a free pass to Shaker Village for the entire year. But you do win a prize pack, you said, for just finding a golden egg, right?
You do. You win a basket of prizes just for finding a golden egg, and then you have 1 in 10 shot to get that free annual pass.
We love it. Shaker Village KY.
And bragging rights.
And bragging rights, too, yeah. ShakerVillageKY.org. Billy, we appreciate you being on. What a great list, a fun month of activities and events all month long. The month of March at Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill. Billy, appreciate you being on. We know you got to call into our sister station over in Harrodsburg, so we'll let you do that and let you go, okay?
All right. You take care, Joe.
Yes, sir,
See
Billy.
You soon.
And you too. Bye. Billy Rankin, Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill. Grandpa Joe, a winter shaker. He's ready to eat come winter, but come spring and summer when the work's to be done, Grandpa Joe is shacked up back in his bed. All right, it's 9:35 in the morning. Tabitha Teague from Morning Point did say she would be here today, so we'll step aside, come back, and Tabitha will join us with a Morning Point segment to end the show on this Thursday morning. It's 9:35.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for health care can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Sutton Pharmacy. Friendly service from people you know. Generations of serving our community. Immunization medications, prescriptions, and so much more. Helpful people, free local delivery, mobile app refills right to your door. Visit SuttonRx.com. Sutton Pharmacy, friendly service from people you know.
In Lancaster on Maple Avenue.
Last place feeling in life is no place to be. Ready for a new way of living? The Isaiah House will put you first. Long-term and short-term residential treatment, outpatient treatment, medication assisted treatment, transitional living, and job skills training. Isaiah House has the programs to the path of help, hope, and healing. End the hurting. Take the first step toward a happier, healthier you. Call the Isaiah House anytime, 24 hours a day.
Electricity helps keep our modern lifestyle going. But if the electrical system in your house is outdated, you may be headed for trouble. Watch for these symptoms of electrical problems: replacing fuses or resetting circuit breakers frequently, switch plates, outlet covers, cords, or plugs that are warm, cut, broken, or cracked insulation on electrical wiring. If these symptoms are present, you need a safety inspection by a licensed inspector. To learn more, talk to your electric cooperative.
And that's Intercounty Energy, a Touchstone Energy cooperative.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Danville police are looking for a man who led them on a chase where speeds reached triple digits. The incident happened on Tuesday just before 6 o'clock when police were called to a local hotel after a seemingly intoxicated man was denied a room. While responding, officers were told that the passenger was leaving the area in a silver Toyota Scion and was near Cattleman's Roadhouse. Police found the vehicle and attempted to perform a traffic stop with one police cruiser behind him and another positioned himself at the Cattleman's exit near the bypass. The suspect, who was identified as 30-year-old Hagen Black, did not stop, instead turning right onto the bypass, traveling in the direction towards Stanford. With Danville police and other agencies joining the pursuit, speeds reached over 100 miles per hour, with Black weaving in and out of traffic. Safety concerns led to police terminating that chase, and Lincoln and Stanford officers later found that Toyota Scion abandoned in the parking lot of the Stanford Domino's. The suspect, Hagen Black, is a Junction City native and is wanted now on several charges. If you have any information, contact Danville Police. A former Boyle County deputy sheriff has been found guilty on criminal civil rights violations and obstruction of justice. We've been following this story regarding former Deputy Tanner Abbott, who was fired from the Boyle County Sheriff's Office after complaints that he used excessive force on 4 people while he arrested them, then wrote false reports to cover up his actions. He was indicted on those charges back in October and has now been found guilty. He'll be sentenced on those charges on June the 7th in Lexington. Governor Andy Beshear has vetoed a bill that would outlaw some local housing discrimination bans. It's House Bill 18, which passed both the GOP-dominated House and Senate rather easily, and would make it so local governments can't force landlords to accept federal housing assistance as a source of rent money. Beshear says that the bill would make it harder for Kentuckians to get into affordable housing. Boyle and Casey County State Rep Daniel Elliott, though, says landlords he's talked to are in support of the bill.
The issue oftentimes is that the voucher may cover 80% of rent due, doesn't cover the final 20%, and then these landlords have trouble getting that 20% because the tenant thinks that the Section 8 covers the entire amount. And so that's the issue I've heard about, at least when I've talked to landlords here.
The General Assembly now has a chance to override Beshear's veto, and it appears they would have the votes to do that if they choose to. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
This is how we doing it with this Chrysler of Lawrenceburg. In 2024, they are making deals real. With their educated personal staff, they make shopping fun and buying easy.
Do you want a newer vehicle? Want a truck for under $25,000? Need your vehicle service? Needing a place that's going to treat you right? Well, Withers is the way. Check them out, Chrysler of Lawrenceburg.
This is one place I will not pass on deals with wheels for the 2024.
Hey, it's me again. That's right, I'm Jerry Farmer, and I'm still cutting up. Still Cutting Up is a place to go when you need a fresh cut or a mini afro. Perms, colors, nails, too. Braids, highlights, and even updo. I know you done heard of us, so get with it. I know you need your hair did. Here's our digit, 238-7899. Bob your head while I rhyme. 24/7, we won't be beat. 365 on South 4th Street. See ya. See ya.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends over at ADA Heated and Air. Trust ADA to be there when you need them the most. ADA is on the way. Call them 859-519-6382. Partly sunny, high of 61, low of 48. Tomorrow, 65. Saturday, 62. Sunday, 50. Right now, it's 9:42. 47 degrees right here in Danville, and our phone number is 238-WHIR. That's 238-9447. We love to have you right here on the radio here on The Joe Show. Hey, I'm seeing that former Mercer County Titan and Center College athlete Jasmine Klotch has been named the Great Lakes Region Track and Field Athlete of the Year. And she is a phenomenal, I think she does like long jump, things like that, and just a phenomenal athlete. She was a record setter and state champion in Mercer County, and continuing that there at Center College. So congratulations to Jasmine, the Great Lakes Region Athlete of the Year, according to the USTF CCCA. Center College athlete and former Mercer County Lady Titan, Jasmine Klotch. All right, it's 9:42 in the morning. 238-WHIR is your phone number to call in here, 238-9447. Faith Knapp is a woman who is legally blind, who has been accepted into the Texas Tech University School of Veterinary Medicine. A blind veterinarian, which is interesting. Check out this ad.
Are you looking for an exciting new career as a veterinarian but are also blind? Well, never fear. Here at Texas Tech, we're enrolling students of all types regardless of whether or not they can see.
At Texas Tech, I got the skills I need to become a veterinarian. In fact, I'm operating on this cat right now.
Doctor, that's a throw pillow.
Good one, nurse. Hand me that scalpel.
That's a carrot.
You're hilarious. I need 10 more cc's of these antibiotics.
That's a mustard packet.
You should be a stand-up comedian, nurse.
I'm a receptionist.
Texas Tech, now enrolling blind students.
I'm going to step into my office and go over these test results.
That's the closet.
Enroll today.
There you go. It's 9:44 in the morning. We've got Tabitha Teague from Morning Point in studio.
The following is a paid program.
Yes, it is. Thank you for that, Jim. What's going on with Tabitha? Tabitha, you're sitting down, and the camera is...
Do you want me to stand up?
No. You can sit down. It just makes you look like you're really, really, really short. So
I am short.
Let me do this. There we go. Let me get... We got her on screen now.
Would it be better if I just stood up?
No, we got you now, Tabitha.
We got you.
It's been a couple of months.
No, it does feel like it's been forever.
Let's see.
Like the first time I was, it might be a month.
It's been a month.
1 month.
Let me see. So last time, on February the 8th.
Is that when we discussed the Reese's?
No,
and
February the 1st is when we discussed the Reese's. And then you were supposed to come in again the next week because Rick was gone on a cruise that week. So you were coming back-to-back weeks on my show.
No, I came to your show when Rick was gone.
Okay, well, then February the 8th was the day I brought the Reese's because I have this picture.
Yes.
I sent it to you. And you didn't come in February 8th. And then February 22nd, you were supposed to come in.
Are you sure it was February the 8th?
Thursday, February 8th, 9:10, I texted you a picture of a Reese Caramel Big Cup. It said 9:35 today. And then February 22nd, 9:35 today. And then today, I always text you 9:35 today.
February 22nd, I was in Tennessee.
You were down in Chattanooga.
What
was going on in Chattanooga?
That's where our home office is at.
Oh, okay.
And so, once a year, sometimes more, but right now it's once a year. We'll go down for several days, and all of us will sit in conferences and talk about strategies and all the upcoming things and
you should have stood up and said, hey, Morning Point in Danville, Kentucky has got it figured out. So I don't really need to learn all of this stuff.
Well, I think what I should have done, listen, in hindsight, I think I should have said, we need to have a live broadcast. I need to call right now. I need to call into the radio, and all of Morning Point community relations and the owner and all the things. That's what we should have been doing.
Yeah, but they wouldn't let you do that.
They wouldn't let me do that.
You couldn't just stop the meeting and say, hey, I've got a live radio interview.
I'm not that important, my friend.
Morning Point at Danville's doing so well because of things like this. I got to call in and talk about Reese Caramel Big Cups with this guy just real quick.
Yeah, I'm not that important.
But did you all talk about radio advertising at all? Or you're like, hey, this is what works well for us?
So I am one of the only ones that does this live broadcast. And so I talked to them about how important and how crucial. You know, I gave up. I just want to say this. Like, I willingly, under my own recognizance, gave up my billboard, which, you know, it had Doris Lane and I on there, because I wanted to keep radio, you know, because it's not like this money tree, you know, we have to, and I said, listen, I think the radio has always been, people enjoy that. I feel like that when people can connect voices and they can connect personalities, they can connect with our community. And it has just, for me, it has just been a wonderful response to have our live shows.
Well, I feel like it humanizes people in the community, right? So, like, we have conversations that humanizes both of us. Right. People know now that you love Reese cups.
Correct.
You know, like, you're not just the lady from Morning Point, but you love Reese cups, and you have a daughter who comes and visits Morning Point and plays volleyball, I think, and you're a member of the community, and you go to this church, and you're doing this on this. I mean, like, you're just a regular person like everybody else is, like I am, but it gives people a chance to connect with
and when we talk about residents, certain residents that I know that it's okay to talk about, you know, that we're not breaking any kind of HIPAA and all that, because we do take all of those things very seriously. Right. You know, families, they connect. You know, I heard you talking about Doris Lane on the radio. Well, Doris and I went to church out at Indian Hills Christian Church. You know, so there's point of connections, and I think that is important, especially when you are looking at senior living, when you are looking at the next best steps for your loved one, is that you want to feel like these are real people, you know, with that love their people like family. So I think it's important.
You all have got a big community event a week from Saturday.
Easter egg.
The Easter egg hunt at Morning Point.
Yep.
This is for the community.
For the community.
What's going on here?
Yeah, so the Easter Bunny will be there, and unfortunately, I will not get to be there. Okay. And I have been to every Easter egg hunt since I've been there, like, that we've been able to have them. My daughter has been Easter. I've been the bunny. My daughter has been the bunny. Gracie was the bunny last year. We even went up to, and this she will still get to do, we'll go up to the boys' home behind us. That's very important to us. Our residents love that. Our residents went last year and hid eggs. We actually went up to Sunrise, and we hid the eggs, and the boys came out, and, you know, the Easter Bunny was there. And I'm telling you, there's just something very fulfilling about that. And Gracie got back up on the bus, and, you know, she took her bunny head off, and she was very emotional. And she said, Mom, we have so much to be thankful for. And she said, just to see, and our residents love that. Yeah. And so we'll get to do that. But unfortunately, this year, Gracie and I will not get to be at Morning Point. But we've got a great team that's going to be there. Sarah and I already have the prize baskets ready. Okay. Ready. Where's the golden egg is ready. The prize for the golden egg is ready. So come on out.
What's the golden egg?
Well,
you had just one golden egg?
There'll be three for each, because we do them in age groups.
Okay, so what's the age groups?
We have different, I can't remember exactly how that is, but we try to be very specific and strategic about that, because we don't want, you don't want your 6-year-old
knocking over a 4-year-old
with your 2-year-old. You know, we want to have those small kids. Like, your 2 kids would not be in the same age bracket.
That's
and
probably
then we
good.
have, right? So there'll be a golden egg for each of those, and they'll have a basket.
Hey, let me ask you this question.
Sure.
I was on Facebook. I'm in this Facebook group called What's Happening in Boyle County.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. And it's fun to read, because, like, a lot of people, they're just like, they're saying what they think is happening in certain areas.
Oh, yes.
So did you see the one about Morning Point?
I did.
So someone took a picture of the brand new Morning Point building.
Yes.
And said, what is this? And someone's like, I think it's the doctor's office.
Right, that's a big doctor's office, right?
Massive.
Right.
And so, like, people are
I
just
would
like
think more like a hospital at that time.
throwing ideas at the wall.
Right.
I think.
And I was kind of like, I sort of liked it. Like, actually, the creator of that page is a friend of mine that I went to high school with.
Okay,
and all the things.
yeah.
So I messaged her and I was like, this page is great.
This is fun, yeah.
Like, I'm just kind of reading the comments. And so finally I had
to chime in.
I did.
So answer the people who have not seen the post on what's happening in Boyle County Facebook group. Tabitha, tell us how the construction
so
on
for
what
all of the inquiring minds,
It's not a doctor's office
it
and not
is
a Pizza
and
Hut.
it's not a nursing home. That was what somebody said. Well, it's a nursing home. Well, if you are first time listening, shame on you, but welcome.
We love you anyway.
That's right. Right. So it is. Morning Point is not a nursing home. We are senior care.
Okay.
We do provide care for seniors, but we're not a nursing home.
I think people use the term nursing home as an all-inclusive phrase for any sort of senior care.
That is right. That is very true. And so we kind of, understand that. We do provide nursing care, however. We have nurses on staff 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all those things. So our new community is 72 apartments. Okay, 72 more apartments. And they are, it is senior care, it is senior living. It will be for those residents, and maybe they still drive. It's going to be, our current community will kind of flip around and have different stages of dementia, and it will be specific to that according to where they are. So then that way we can have the care is directed toward where you are staged in that journey, if you're higher functioning, all the things. Okay. And whereas the new building will look a little different than that, personal care, which is that verbiage is difficult for some folks, Joe, because they don't really know what that is. It is assisted living, but it's assisted living with benefits, helping with dressing and nursing staffing. Listen, folks, I'm like hearing all the amenities, and this is just a rumor, so don't write it in blood or anything like that, but it's going to have a theater inside.
Wow.
I said that. It's going to have a fitness gym.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. In there, it's going to have a little coffee shop inside. I mean, listen, I'm thinking that's going to be my next home.
This is going to be the place.
This is going to be the place.
The place to be.
It's exciting.
So
yes.
what's the date?
So we're now 1st of August.
Okay.
It was October. Then it moved up to September. It was early fall.
Yeah.
I think of fall, October, right?
Yeah.
And so a couple weeks ago, 1st of August.
That's Tabitha knocking on wood.
That's me knocking on wood. That's
so
what they're saying,
1st
but
of
don't
August
hold that.
Is when it will be open for people to move in.
Correct.
Is that right? So how do you handle people wanting to live in a place that's not finished yet? Like, do you already have a list of names?
Well, it's kind of okay. Let's talk about that. So it's kind of like you've bought a house that's not finished, right? You build a house, you still own it. It's so in the next couple months, and this has already started. I've already got 4. People are talking about that. They want to put a deposit down. They want to say, we want to be the first to come in and to choose the location of our apartment. And
so, do you have anybody from other Morning Point building that's going to move into the new Morning Point building?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Second question.
Yes.
Did you finish up the names for the hallways? Because that was a question that you asked on here last time you were on.
But that has not been revealed.
Oh.
Like, I don't even know what that's going to look like.
But you know that they have names.
Yes. I do know that
but you don't know what the names are.
I do not know what the names are.
Well, who picked the names?
Well, so we submitted names to Tennessee. Lisa Keller did. She's the executive director.
Yeah.
And so we talked about those things, and she was great to incorporate everyone, and those were submitted to Tennessee. And then Franklin Farrow, which is our owner, he did the choosing. So we'll see.
Rebel Roundabout.
That was one.
Admiral Avenue.
That was one.
Warrior Way.
Listen, we had another one. Merchants Row.
That's Paravel.
That's Paravel.
Shout out to our good friends in Paravel.
Yes,
we got
and
love for
another
Paravel.
one was something to do with the battlefield. It was Battlefield
Boulevard.
Something like that.
I'm good at the alliteration.
Yes.
If you all need a professional alliterator,
that would be you
on staff at Morning Point.
Yeah.
I can do that part-time. Just come up with alliterations.
Listen, we have used you for all kinds of things. I mean, you've come out to, in cruise-ins. You've been there for pie contests.
Macaroni and cheese day spawned on this
I mean, I'm just saying.
show. Thank you. I'm glad to be useful for something.
Yes.
It's 9:56 in the morning. Tabitha Teague joins us here on the Joe Show. Step aside, come back. We're not going to have much time after this commercial break, but we'll have some time to wrap up this segment. It's 9:56.
Hi, this is Jenny at the Danville Nutrition Center. At the Nutrition Center, we strive to help our customers achieve optimal health. From our high-quality collagen proteins to our immune system support vitamins, we are here to help you and your family stay healthy all throughout the year. We provide locally raised, free-range meats, eggs, and fresh milk and organic produce boxes delivered weekly. Your locally owned Danville Nutrition Center is here to serve you. Visit us at 802 South 4th Street in Danville. Danville Nutrition Center, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Authentic Mexican grocery store, cakes, fresh produce, piñatas, boots, belts, and more. La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. Family owned and operated, offering the best Mexican products created. La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. And to make your tummy smile, Taco Yumas, the on-site food truck that's also available for catering and events. So where do you go for authentic Mexican product? La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. In Danville on Houstonville Road.
Hi, this is Deanna Charles at the Danville H&R Block. Do you have a small business in need of bookkeeping, payroll, or other business services? At H&R Block, we do it all, from simple sole proprietorships to partnerships, corporations, estates and trusts, and even nonprofit returns. With our monthly business services starting at just $50 per month, our prices are competitive and can allow you to focus on your business while we take care of your books. Give us a call at 859-236-3281 to learn more about our small business services, or stop by the office at 216 Brent Avenue in Danville.
Listen to us on your smart speaker. Just ask to play our call letters. WHIR.
All right, it's 9:58 in the morning. Tabitha with Morning Point is on the show, and we only have a minute and a half, Tabitha.
A minute and a half.
So do you have
a minute to win it?
Do you have any party knowledge? I can give you a dad joke.
I love a good dad joke.
This right here, Tabitha, was the dad joke of the day this morning, which can be heard exclusively on the Joe Show, Mondays through Fridays at 6:50 in the morning, right here on 103.9 FM, WHIR, Danville News Talk Sports. Now that we got that out of the way, here's the dad joke. What do you call a pony with a cough? What do you call a pony that has a cough?
I don't know, but you're going to tell me, right?
A little horse.
Oh, my God. Okay. So, let me tell you.
Yes.
What do you call a quiet puppy?
I don't know.
Hush puppy.
Oh. Isn't that sweet?
Isn't that just like, like my 9-year-old granddaughter told me that. She's like, Mimi.
What did the janitor say when he hopped out of the closet? Supplies.
Okay. See, they're so funny, but then you're like, really?
What did one wall say to the other wall?
I'll meet you in the corner.
Meet you at the corner. You got that one.
I got that.
They're not as funny when you get them right, though.
Well, I'm so sorry, but so Ava and I, we like to lay at nighttime when she's at the house, and we like to tell jokes.
Tell each other dad jokes?
Yeah.
859-965-1008. Yes. If you can make Tabitha laugh with a dad joke, you get a special prize. What's that prize, Tabitha? I don't know. You have to make it up when you get there.
That's right.
10 o'clock in the morning. Appreciate it.
This is the talk of the town. AM 1230.